Yo, let's go. It's time to chop it up with Chop, baby. Shout out to Rick Star on the track. I see you, young Prince. Let's go.
Chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up. Chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop it up. Real issue, real problem, real shit that we dealing with. Fuck your whole life up, dealing with a city bitch like me, like that's the shit that we dealing with. Get up on the oil and we get into the thick of it. Niggas be tripping when their names ain't mentioned. The product ain't moving, so the niggas start glitching. Friends on the phones in a goddamn minute. Snakes start rattling, then you hear the hissing. These niggas say tellin', but these niggas ain't kissing. Point a head out and they ass get missing. When you see a real chief, better get into submission. Ain't shit made up and a nigga ain't blemished. Chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up. Chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up with chop, chop it up.
Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up with chop it up. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up.
Five. Yo, what it is? Hey, it feel good to be back. It feel good to be back, man. I've been taking care of a lot of stuff, been in and out of town, family, wedding anniversary. Shout out to my wife, baby. I appreciate you. I just want to let you know I love you, man. You be rocking with your boy the long way. And shoot, we got what? It's almost 8 years in the bank right now, and 3 years married. I appreciate you, love you. Um, back, I got a real good conversation tonight, and I want to talk about it. And I don't know if everybody else been paying attention, but before we get into it, if you're watching this right now, if you see it right now, I need you to love, like, subscribe. If you don't have Facebook or you know somebody don't have it, you can go to Chopping It Up with Chop 216. Chopping It Up with Chop 216. Um, I have this young lady, man, brilliant young lady, man. We have some conversations, and I just be like, man, where did you get that mind? Where did you get? How you learn to think like that? But you know, sometimes, and you were wait. I don't want to put out your baby. You were raised by your father.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you was raised by your father. I gotta tell her to stop calling me sir because it makes me feel
I'll
inadequate.
break it eventually.
Right. Just call me Mister.
Okay. If I say another word, no.
Oh no. You could say yeah, my nigga. I mean, nah, but you.
We'll get
She
there.
is don't. She one of us because they might think you know.
Oh no, I'm definitely. My father is definitely black. My mom's Mexican, but my dad is black, and it's
Okay.
definitely in me. Okay.
Okay. So Miss Janessa, it's a blessing to have you here, and you know I know we're gonna have more conversations. I
Yes.
just wanted to see how, and when you sending me all of your ideas, I'm just like, man, you're thinking deep, you're digging deep.
It's a lot that goes on, so I'm very, very thankful you give me the opportunity to express that. And I think there's a lot of topics within black communities specifically that we don't necessarily touch on, maybe sometimes out of fear, out of confusion, whatever it is, but I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
I'm glad to get into it.
We finna get into it.
Okay.
We finna get into it. I gotta spin across the room because, you know, I gotta get her when I can and how I can. But this is my dog. She straight out the mud. Like I mean, she don't play with me, and she don't play with nobody. You know, and she be serving our country. She be serving our country in and out, but she always got my back. And Miss Nikita, you know I can't just say Nix. What's up, girl?
What's up? What's going on?
What you doing here? What?
I'm here to talk shit.
Look, you see
I'm
it
here
with
to-
a smile on her face too.
Look.
Look, she ready to start
I'm
some
here to play
controversy.
devil's advocate. I'm ready to do all that.
And you brought the cheetah out tonight. Oh,
So
okay.
it's a little cold.
Right. Brought the cheetah out. And She brought one of my old throwbacks. Hey, I ain't see you since when? What, skating?
Child.
It's been a minute. How you been doing?
Good.
You been good?
Just working, skating.
Working and skating.
That's it.
Skating through working. Some of the
Like
same,
that.
something like that,
Right,
something
right.
like that. Hey, it's good to have you here. And I don't know how this happened. I don't know who invited this guy. I don't know how this nigga even showed up. The nigga just showed up and knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, I heard you was doing something tonight." Who let
That
the
nigga
back?
lying.
Who let the back?
Lying. That nigga
Yeah,
lying.
you know I'm lying, man. That's my dog. He got my back $100 grand, man. Hey, one thing I love about him, it don't matter what it is. If I call him, he can do it. He there. And I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Definitely. Go ahead, give your shout outs. Cause you got some new stuff
Oh,
coming up.
shit.
Yeah. Man, highlight that, bro.
Well, it's the one and only Batman, aka Don Juan J Twan on Facebook, _real Batman _OPOV on Instagram, Rumble OPOV, YouTube OPOV podcast. Yeah.
Right, don't do it so modestly, nigga. You got some, and he just showed me some stuff. Cause every time he come here, I gotta step my game up. So every time he come here, I gotta step my game up. I got my brother in the house tonight, man. You know, we you know, blood is one thing, but you know, when you have years and you have balance under the under your belt, man, I appreciate you. The mighty one. I know you ain't gotta put the camera on, but I appreciate you being here, bro. I just want to shout you out, man. Definitely appreciate it. Anybody got some shout outs before we get into this conversation? Cause I'm ready.
Shout out to you for the platform, for
Okay.
allowing us to
Look,
express
that's what I'm talking
ourselves,
about,
for
look.
building community organically, authentically. I have to give you your flowers.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I don't, you know, shit. I feel now. I don't know how to feel.
Yes,
No, I definitely appreciate that. I think that it's just having this, and you know, I had to pick J Twan mind. I'm sorry, Batman. I had to pick his mind for days and weeks, and him just showing me and teaching me and getting me to a place where like, okay, I can do it. The thing is, and I think we'll talk about this in another conversation. We need to promote each other.
Yes.
Like nothing takes it doesn't take away from me to promote you. It doesn't take away from me to promote any of my friends. So I feel like, yo, I'm gonna do that. And you know, I mean, outside of people feeling like competition, like yo, you should have friendly competition because it makes you better. It makes you better.
Agreed.
So now we gonna get into it. I'll remind y'all, yo, Des, what it is. I got your big brother here. He done came through tonight. What it is, Des. Um, we're gonna talk about the Travis Hunter situation, and we're gonna add some dialogue in between there because I want to get some understanding. I want to ask everybody first: do you know about all the controversy behind Travis Hunter? Do you know?
Yes. So, to my understanding, he's a young male who's in the NFL, up and coming, great player.
College.
Okay,
But getting
thank you.
ready to go to the NFL.
Okay, and he has a girlfriend. They've been together for some time. But the controversy is her actions, and her actions are now causing people to question what is her motive with being in the relationship.
Okay.
To my understanding.
Okay. Sheikah, you been
Yep.
privy to it. You know what's going on in that situation.
Yeah, and I think it's twofold. It's I think it's a little unfair to him because right now he just won the biggest award that you can win in college football. He just won the
Yes.
Heisman.
Hey, we gotta
Big
listen.
Yeah.
Big
People not highlighting that as much. This dude playing on both sides of the ball, dealing with every, even dealing with it through injuries and all kind of stuff. We gotta highlight him for that because at the end of the day, and then I just heard something because they have that what is it, the NLT or
NIL.
the NIL. He hasn't accepted any of his money. $0.
He used it for his team members.
He gave it all to his teammates.
That I didn't know.
Man, listen, I couldn't believe it. I had to Google it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. That's big. That's big stuff because that's selfless, man. That's what I'm all about at the end of the day. Now, Nick, how you feel about this situation?
Listen, I was ready to play devil's advocate, and she pissed me the
Mm,
fuck off. Okay.
right. Don't let your marbles out the bag yet.
Okay.
Hold
right.
the piss.
I'm on abort mission.
Right. Hold the
We're gonna-
piss.
We're gonna run back to it, but I know about it.
Now, Jay. Usually, I wouldn't even want to ask you this, but how you think about it? What you think?
You can ask me later.
Okay, you gonna spin the block?
Yeah, I'll spin the block. You can ask me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say how I feel. Um, I feel like a parent because I am a parent first. So if it was my son, I would be advising my son not to get married before 25. If that was my son, you know,
And what's your
granted,
logic behind that?
my logic is because you have to go through life experiences. I only am able to deal with my wife because of what I've been through. My wife is only able to deal with me because of what she's been through. You have to be able to go through some stuff to be able to handle some stuff. And at 20 years, 21, 22, nigga, you
Still
ain't been
learning.
through nothing. You haven't been through nothing to be calling somebody your wife. And just because you think you have a paycheck behind your name, that doesn't solidify it. Because you can have money and still be less of a man. So that's my logic behind it. That's what I would tell my son. So for me, it's like number one, that shouldn't even be on the table. That shouldn't even be a conversation. Number two, I don't agree with the fact of her because it's a fact. She's shown this on um, a certain amount of occasions where she acts out or she makes him look a certain type of way. He's the brand. He's the brand. So you can't tarnish the brand. Can you imagine one of Nike's bosses or workers coming out and saying, "Oh, I slipped and broke my ankle in a pair of Nikes"? It won't happen. So you can't do that. Even though you're in a relationship with him, you still have to play the part.
Absolutely.
Now, if you just acting all just the whole, you don't even deserve to be there. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But to be honest, I'm gonna say it's kind of his fault. Well, I'm gonna take kind of
I
out.
can't
It's
disagree.
It is his
it's
fault.
entirely his fault.
Hmm.
You know, and I say that because
It's his fault. He has a team. He has a team.
it's not about the
As big,
team.
as big
I
as
agree.
no, as big as he is, he has a team, and he has control over saying you can stay home. Like if you see somebody taking you down, at some point you gotta say something.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
disagree because remember, they've been together for 5 years.
It don't
They've been
matter.
together as teenagers.
It don't
Even
matter.
as adults, everything is fine with you and your man until somebody else see it. It's always been okay until someone else thought it wasn't okay.
Now it's in
She
the
has been
public eye.
behaving this way. This is not something that she flipped the switch. If she's been this way and he's very he it seems as though he's very malleable. He's very you can kind of tweak him to one way or another. You can tell she's the dominant personality.
He has a kind heart.
Yeah, you can tell he's a sweet person. He does not go out. He does not drink. He focuses on school and ball, which is
Right.
fine. But at the same time, she's always been this ball of fire, which is what probably attracted him to her. She's that ball of fire that he wants to kind of balance him out.
They're
And it was
opposites.
always fine.
That's not what.
But
that ain't what
my
attracted
thing
him
is
to
at
her.
the same time, if you so focused on his dream and you see somebody jeopardizing it,
But see, that's anybody, even in college. You can be focused on your education until you be the dude at 18, 19, and now you focused on being his baby mama.
but
So-
that's what I said. It falls back to his team, the people who are older that knows better.
Yeah, but you at 18 probably didn't know no better, and you wasn't listening to nobody either. The only
True,
difference is he's on a
true.
main stage. We have to be fair and give him grace to know, and you can only really hope that he'll listen to somebody. I got grown people who won't leave niggas alone.
So y'all
Sure.
think that's what attracted him to her? The fire?
I
You
think
think the
that-
fire was it?
Listen, at the end of the day, everybody want what they can't have, and I really feel like he don't know how he got her.
And that's fine. That's cool.
But okay, so everybody, cause I seen a lot of the statements. Everybody saying, "Oh, he ugly," or he just, he dealing with it. Like, first of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So,
And what did Jay-Z say? There's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm
Facts.
cute.
It's really not.
it's
Shoot,
not
Mark Anthony
because
said it first.
You know,
Right.
hey, no cap. Only ugly people say that.
Not
What-
That's
well,
not true. Because what's ugly to you may not be ugly to somebody
I may
else.
have been fat, but I ain't never been ugly.
Yeah, but you don't know what's ugly to somebody. Like they say, Chris Brown don't like dark skins. It don't matter how fine she is. She dark. She can't.
He
She don't
can't he ain't
qualify.
messing with her.
It is what it is.
Cause I can't. I'm not gonna like go in on Brown for that because I feel like, everybody has a preference.
And that's and that.
Everybody has a preference. Like women say all the time, "Oh, I ain't talking to no big nigga," or "I ain't talking to no light skinned nigga," or
But
"I
you
ain't."
can't tell, right?
Huh?
You can't tell.
Yeah, well, I can't tell. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that ain't for me. But with some people, they have that. They have that issue. But I think that it's up to the person. So I do think a man has the right to say what he. If I like this particular type of woman, this is what I like.
Okay, but this is where I have to interject.
Okay.
We have to really ask ourselves, how much of your preference is rooted in what you really desire versus what you're conditioned by? What you see on the TVs.
Wow.
What you see
You dig
your
it.
homies talking about.
A lot you expect other people to expect of you.
Yes.
Right.
And what's most acceptable for your social status.
Because
what's
they
going
got
to get
people-
you ahead.
Some people don't care about that.
A lot of people care about
But
that.
a lot of
You can
people
tell.
care about
Especially
it.
if you're in the public
Mitch.
eye. It's all about
Listen,
the image.
I know too many people who've been pregnant by people that because there wasn't love.
Okay.
Whatever their preference was.
Okay, but at the same
Some
time,
people want a family.
you
and they'll stay
like
for a family.
you like what you like, and you
True.
consistently.
But what is the logic and subconscious about how
It's
you
been-
got to liking what you like?
based off of what you just said?
Yes.
What you just said, because everybody puts out flat abs or this fit person or that or whatever, and that person does not even have the capacity to love you or even like you.
They love the idea of you.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
They look at it in that way, and it could be it could be another side too, just off of finances, because you want to feel comfortable. You want to feel comfortable. You don't want to go through no hardship. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to deal with the hard things that come with relationships. So okay, I'm gonna go out here and get this millionaire. He's not really my type, but because I know I'll be secured, the bag is secured, I can deal.
And you know what? This brings me to a question that I think you and I were discussing before we actually, came on the podcast. And that is, do we think that a lot of times money is a pacifier for relationships? The same way we think children is a pacifier for relationships.
Yes, because they use children for
Yeah.
money.
Well, whatever you value is going to be a pacifier. Whatever you
Facts.
value.
Yeah.
Whatever you value.
It's going to make you vulnerable
If
to
a woman-
accepting whatever it is that you're lacking, whatever that may be. If someone presents that even in a very small form,
Yeah, you're
if
going to take
you have
it.
the possibility of believing they can supply you with that one thing
Whatever.
you've always desired, you'll be like, you know what?
It's like that 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
But then a lot of times we get caught up in the 20%, especially when you have the money to back you.
Yep.
And then you come to realize, well, wait a second, the money was really only what was attracting me to you. And I was maintaining this relationship, not your presence and character.
Because when that happens, whatever is that buffer that keeps you there, if at any point that buffer stops buffing,
Yeah.
You see the
everything
light.
becomes a
You see the
problem.
light.
And you know what?
see
I'm
the
sorry
light.
to cut you off.
No,
You know what? I think that a lot of times we fixate on this scenario in the public eye, but a great example that we can think about for the general population is the pandemic.
Facts.
Think about how many relationships were forced to be revised, to be cut out altogether because you
Yeah.
recognize,
You had
damn,
to
I gotta sit in
learn.
this house with you, but
Yeah.
we're not even evenly yoked.
Yeah.
I've just been maintaining this. I've just been on autopilot.
You've been holding your end of the bargain, and they've been holding their end.
Yes.
We were in a relationship separately. We
Yes.
were never communicating together. We were dealing with each other,
Yeah.
but we weren't in it with each other.
And shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. Hey, Davo, I see you, bro. What's up, man? Hey, I hope you enjoying the family. I can't wait till you come back home, bro. We are talking about the Travis Hunter situation. We're talking about her behavior, everything that we've been seeing online.
Why he's staying? We talk about that too.
What's that?
I said we talk about why he's staying. That's
Why
what we
do
talk
you
about
all
right
think he's
now.
staying at
Because
this point?
I think he genuinely loves her. Like you said, he doesn't really know how he got her. But consider this, right? Because I've been in a position where I've known this man was not my type. Don't really like him, but he was persistent and consistent and kept going and kept pushing. And he gets to a point where it's like, it's called the right wrong time. They get you in just the right moment where you're a little bit more like you have standards, but that week they 75%
You finna
off.
let them standards
They on
down.
sale. Black Friday, Black
That's that one
Wednesday.
night
So them
stand.
standards.
Wait.
If they catch you,
Back
Jay
giving me
all
the
in that
look.
time.
Back giving me the
Batman
look.
always on sale.
What do you feel, Jay? Because I see you looking
your
like
standards
that.
be 75%.
Is it the
off.
sex? Is it the fact that maybe other people want her because she's in the public eye
but
now?
but you have to also remember, this is what we see now. We haven't seen them beforehand. He has had many, many years to love her rights, love her wrongs,
Right.
love her louds, love her drunk, love all of these things. He's just becoming it to us since he was at Jackson State with Dion. Then he moved to Colorado. He's only been in the limelight for 2 years.
Right.
No.
No. Now I want to hear what Jay
On
got
the
to say.
national stage.
Jay,
He's
what-
been that
Jay,
nigga
how
for a
you feel?
while.
That man been that nigga since high school.
He's been that
He's
athlete.
pure.
He wasn't that nigga on the national stage.
That was that nigga since high school. We knew about Travis Hunter since he was in high school.
As a player, you didn't know nothing
We
about
knew
her.
he was going to the league before he even got out of high school.
Which a lot of niggas supposed to go to the league and never make it.
He's
or don't
going
stay
to the
there.
league.
No one's saying he's not, but in regard to football or basketball, there are a lot of athletes who are amazing. And when they if you look at Lamar Jackson, drafted last in his class, and he is probably one of the best in his class. The only unanimous MVP. So you can be that nigga in high school and then turn around and you get hurt in the NFL and you are no longer that nigga.
Point,
All right, can we call a spade a spade?
Look, it's still niggas from high
Can
school.
we-
But
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
He
He
humble
don't know
person,
how he got her. His confidence is not as high.
but that he don't know how he got her.
All right,
back
I want
It's 5 years
Jay,
deep.
what you feel. I want to hear what you feel, bro. I see it's crawling inside of you. I
I've been
want
watching
to
his
see.
face. He's going.
What?
Say
Right,
spit it out.
right.
Say it with your chest.
What you?
Say
Yeah.
it
Say it with your chest.
It's
nigga.
because I think we acting like we don't understand how he got or how the situation playing out. We know he an ugly nigga. Let's just call a spade a spade.
You said it not.
No. We're not talking about it's a lot. So let's
My baby daddy wasn't my time.
let's call a spade a spade. That woman knew that this nigga was that he was gonna be that nigga. Are we gonna be honest?
Right.
She know that he was going to be able to be that guy that's gonna make some money eventually.
Right.
So she playing the game for the cash
Of
out.
course. All right, so he got with a girl that looks halfway decent. I'm pretty sure he wasn't that guy that was getting women back in the days. Let's call a spade a spade. You ever seen an ugly nigga that started scamming and made money,
So
and
you
then what did
saying
he do?
he's ugly too.
Let's think
He
about this.
upgraded his
He
caliber
don't
of a
take
There
woman.
you go. So when you upgrade that caliber woman, now you have that type of woman that you're not used to getting. You're going to do things that you're not used to doing.
True.
That's how
You're
do
going
it.
to take so much bullshit from that type of woman because you're not used to that
To
woman.
being that caliber of woman.
So that's why he's taking that disrespect. A nigga that's used to that type of woman won't take that level of disrespect
Debatable.
at all. It's not debatable.
Where he grew up with his parents, like
It's
maybe
because
it's
he
some
don't
trauma.
see it as
Isn't that what y'all
disrespect.
like?
She's not. She is tarnishing his
so look,
brand.
let me say this, and this
Yes.
is what I feel like Jay is saying.
He said what I said.
If I told you right now, hey, Shika, I got $1 million for you. I'm finna transfer this $1 million next week. It's gonna be in your account. Let me get your routing and your bank account number, and I'm finna transfer this $1 million. Your attitude is going to change.
Oh, for sure.
I don't care who you.
Of course.
Your attitude is going
Absolutely.
to change. So you have to see potential in yourself. So you know, like, oh, nigga, who you talking to? I got $1 million on the way. Like, it changes.
But see, that's a 35-year-old mindset, not a 21-year-old mindset.
I
Right.
agree.
Because you give 21-year-old a chick $1 million. First and
I agree.
foremost, I'm not gonna say nothing to the money in my account. That's number one. And at 21 years old, I'm gonna be reckless because that's what I was. A lot
Yeah.
of these athletes are reckless, and we can even we're
Yeah.
talking about Travis Hunter and how this young lady is damaging his brand, but there are men who are in the NBA as we speak and in the NFL as we
They're
speak
reckless.
who have brands and 3 kids in 2024.
Yeah. No.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Okay, but these guys that you're speaking about, the guys that you're speaking about are not taking that level of disrespect.
Right.
So it's not the
So
same.
they
You-
can give it, but
no,
they
no,
can't
no.
take it.
No, no,
That's
no,
what
no.
you're saying?
See. This is where you're getting it misconstrued. When you have a guy
Mm-hmm.
that's that caliber of guy that knows who he is, that's overly confident within himself, that knows exactly what the fuck is going on,
Uh-huh.
you would never do that type of shit.
Yeah, but he got a girl who knows her
But
confidence.
he's not that.
Yeah.
He's not that guy visually to the public.
Right.
He's like that on the field. He's not like
Exactly.
He's not like
He's
that
not
off the
like that.
field.
That's
I
what,
said it.
because you got to understand his area of expertise. That's his area. Before we get into, because we about to get into some questions that
I
relate to
remember
this.
it.
Hey, shout out, hey, man, Mike Larry. I gotta call you. I ain't gonna call you by your government. You already know, bruh. My bad, but you finna spin the block. I'm gonna see you tomorrow morning. David, what it is, bro? You gotta send me some music so I can get you out there, man. Send me some music, whatever you got going on, man. Let me know. I see you, Des. Yeah, Dave. I said we talking about Travis Hunter. Okay, so the one of the first questions that relates to what we're talking about, do you think relationships can thrive on a private setting?
What do you mean?
So meaning like you keep, and this, I had a conversation with somebody about this earlier. um you know if you are in the public eyesight and people get to see you and your mate together, and or you on social media or you on here on this platform like you are, do you think your relationship can thrive because now it's no longer
You're under the
private?
microscope all the time.
It can thrive if it was centered in the right things to begin with.
Yeah.
So
I
if
agree.
you are equally yoked, if you are a person of faith and you root your relationship in that faith, you have to believe in that faith and you have to really stand on it. Because at the end of the day, things are always going to come crashing down at you, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's someone's opinion that means absolutely nothing. You have to be strong enough in your faith and in your relationship to know that it can withstand anything and be okay with things not always being okay.
Right. What
True.
you agree, Nick? So
I agree.
what you
And to spin off of what you're saying, I believe that in this circumstance is a little bit different because he is already in the public eye.
right.
But I will say, again, if we're connecting it to the general public, when you have people around you who are holding you accountable, both parties accountable in the relationship, it really forces you to look within and ask yourself, how do we build pillars that are strong enough to maintain this relationship?
Right.
And I think a lot of times we don't really focus on that because we're so paranoid, if you will, about trying to make sure, oh, nobody's in our business. I don't want anybody putting into your ear.
Or how you look in front of somebody else. Des said this. He said, "Do you guys believe someone is in her ear? I assume,
Yeah.
telling her to stay and get the bag, etc." As
Much
wait,
as,
much,
The same
much
way
as,
that
as
okay.
much as they are in his ear telling him to drop her.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I
think so.
All her
It's-
homegirls
listen,
saying that nigga got
trust
the
me.
bag, girl.
I'm pretty sure she got plenty homegirls who telling her that she need to sit down, she need to calm down, she finna
Yeah.
ruin this.
Mm-hmm.
And she ruined it. Just like it's plenty people on his team who telling him, oh, you gotta let her go. Because my thing is, her putting them heart eyes underneath
Oh,
Buddy
Oh, let's get into that.
post, that's not the first time. It's been
Oh,
5 years.
man.
She been doing this.
She been doing
Yeah.
that.
At this point, she has to understand that brand can't survive scandal like that when you're already under the
Thank
microscope.
you.
Now, let me tell you,
Her
and just
brand.
from my point of view, do me and my wife get on all the time? Like, yo, we like, that's my best friend, that's my dog. But at the end of the day, do we disagree? Yes, we disagree. Yes, we have issues. At the same time, I would never let anybody see me have an issue with her, I would never.
And you would defend her in
Listen,
front of everybody,
right?
even if she wrong.
And later, later, me and her will talk. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, you mirror that person. You are one with that person. So I would never embarrass myself. If I embarrass her, it's embarrassing me. I can't rock like that. We had that same conversation. I can't do that. Like I don't give a damn if whatever happened. If I walked up on her and tried to kiss her and she turned her face, can you imagine that? This is what this young lady did to Travis.
She don't know she's not a main character.
It's that, but these are behaviors that she has probably been doing for many years. How often are we with our mates and they try to kiss us and we're not in the mood? It's like, move, I ain't rocking with you right now. But at the same time,
in front of everybody,
no one.
My thing is, you gotta understand too. Both of them new to this,
exactly.
In a sense where
he's like Batman said, he been that nigga. But they weren't the spotlight. And what made him more the spotlight is the fact that he became the Heisman on the biggest stage. Had it been Cameron Ward that won that, she would have still been there. But at the same time, we wouldn't even be looking at her because she's not the focus.
She would have never disrespected Cameron.
I'm gonna say this. That's not the only thing that made him the spotlight, because I technically only know who he is because of the controversy that's happening because of her.
What's up, Hicks?
So that just got him another person who in his business. Because I would have never known. I'm not into sports at all. Trust me, I know all the baby daddies. I know all the husbands from basketball, everything, football. I know all them hoes who be outside, but I would have never known who he was unless she causes controversy.
Even me creating this platform.
All publicity, good publicity.
I always, anybody who know me, I always been out there. I ain't never been, I always been out there. My wife is not like that. She don't want.
Very demure.
She but she is, and she's never been like that. So, like, even me coming into this situation, like, I have to understand, like, yo, I'm not gonna embarrass my wife. I have to think about the things that I say. I have to think about the things that I do. I have to think about the platform that I'm putting out there. And this is before, like, I ain't even nothing yet.
But we're also 30 plus. We have to understand. These are college.
And you want to be outside no more.
I'm 22.
I had this conversation.
I'm 22.
Had this conversation.
Sure.
In his jeans. And I had this conversation with somebody early, and I was just like, they was like, oh, but he's young. He's young. I feel like that's old niggas' mistake. That's old nigga problems, because you not really telling these cats. That's why they getting out there. And now you see Shannon Crowder, you see Frey Taylor, you see all these cats now. They giving the tea and they giving the peace, but then we're not doing it at this point. We should be stopping it right here at Travis Hunter.
It should be classes that you take the same way we need to learn taxes. We need to learn etiquette.
All of that.
Yeah, if you have these students coming up and they're major student athletes. I know some coaches in Miami-Dade County specifically, and I can only go based on what I know. The basketball coach from Miami Norland, two-time for Coach Lauren.
Don't be on here shouting out no Vikings and all that. You see what I got on tonight. Don't be out here shouting out no Vikings.
I know you see it 05.
Right, you see it.
Anyways.
05.
But what I'm saying is the way he constructs his players, the way he forces them to grow up as they transition to college, it shows. Because the way that they are told to walk, talk, breathe, conduct themselves, because they are not representation of him. The same thing should be held as a standard for any player that may become something. True. Where are the ones that, the same way Teddy went back to Northwestern to get a championship, who's coming back to
shout out
two-time my mama bull.
Shout out to Teddy, and shout out to the West. And
big shout out to the
West. Do that, but
big shout out to the West.
Congratulations.
We have to, as the old heads, right?
Yeah.
Because we know what it is to be 17, 18, 19 years old and don't want to come up off that man. Don't want to come up off that woman. We know it. We know it ain't no good. We about to have a baby. It's about to be complete hell and pure hell. However, we know we wasn't getting up off of him. I know I wasn't getting up off of him because at that age, nobody can tell you nothing. But
Yeah.
us, as the old heads, we are the millennials. We are the ones that is that perfect blend of the newer kids and our adult counterparts. We have to be the ones that say, you know what? Let's start having these classes. Everyone might not be susceptible to it, but let's put it out there. Let someone have a training, a speech course on how to sit on podcasts or how to give interviews, how to conduct yourself in a manner to where you can build your brand.
A PR team.
A PR team from the beginning.
No, that's what
we give these kids money and want miracles.
I feel like that you should have somebody in your corner to actually tell you and show you. It's too many broke athletes out here. It's too many broke people that's done something with their lives.
Like they choose to be.
But if everybody on a payroll,
like, now going back to her question, do you think, because this is the thing, if you're an athlete, how can you have a private relationship?
Like LeBron.
Exactly.
That's a great ass example. That's a great example.
Steph and Aisha, they're pretty private. She's built an empire separately, but they are very private.
Shawnee was private until they got the divorce.
Who? What you say?
Yep, it take one thing.
No, but I still feel like their relationship is still private. I don't feel like
Shawnee and Shaq was very private.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And I still feel like Steph and Aisha are private, even though she's trying to do stuff and get out the house and do other things. I still feel like their relationship is private.
There's a few.
I'm
talking about relationship. I'm not talking about your wife is working and doing other stuff.
It's a lot. It's a lot of athletes that have healthy relationships that's private.
I do believe that, because you got some people. Mike Vick has been married. He done went to prison and everything, and still been married to the same woman. Okay, so the next question is, how do you create boundaries? How do you create those boundaries in your relationship if you are in a public situation?
They don't got
Savannah need to publish a book. That's what it is.
A fact.
Savannah needs to
publish
a book.
But no, have you watched? I watch her podcast. And she's very funny. She's dope.
She's you can tell Savannah runs that household. You can tell she does.
They're enough to run it.
But it's not that. It's the way their relationship functions, right? It's like when I used to watch my aunt and uncle. They were together for 50 years. My uncle, very dominant man, 6'4", worked on the loading dock, big brute man. My aunt, ball of fire. You know who wears the pants, but you know who runs it as well. Right. It's having the perfect balance, having a set communication, having kind of like they gotta be your best friend, right? You gotta be able to have those cues where he done said something crazy, and all you gotta do is be like, and he know to shut up.
But that's easy. That's easy to do if you're not a public figure.
Ooh, baby, you
Batman got something to say. Look, somebody please.
You heard me say shut up.
Chop, give him a second. Give him a moment.
Go ahead.
Like he about to die. Go ahead.
What she said?
That's why he's
that
single.
triggered you?
Like, listen, I am just here.
No, what she said that
you're
triggered
here for a reason to speak.
She said everything wrong.
Trigger.
The bobblehead, it was immediate.
Look.
Counter. What is she saying that you disagree with?
You look at me and tell me I'm gonna shut up. Would you look at me?
Why would you take it so literal? Why shut up just means?
Because you got that.
No, because he tell.
And you know his mama running. So
what do you tell your women, Jay? What you tell your women?
Shut up.
No, how you tell them? You
shut the fuck up.
See, so
that's and I can't tell you shut up.
You ain't gonna tell me to shut up.
That's so cute.
You're gonna get hit with a car.
But you know what? You can't get into situations and then that don't work because both of us can't be super mouthy.
Well,
and if I say something without malicious intent, my intent wasn't malicious, but you took it malicious and you're triggered and now you a bobblehead.
Well, no. Well, see.
He need him a Travis Hunter. That's why.
Well, I would never be that nigga. I've always been that guy. But I'm gonna say this. Go
ahead.
As a man, I don't have to tell my woman to shut up. I don't, because she already understands that.
You don't have one.
Oh Jesus!
How the fuck do you know that?
You got one though.
How do you? Hold on. I'm glad she talking that shit. So
I'm not. I can understand if Chop sitting here telling me.
But see, you saying some stuff that's not accurate though. You don't know who. You don't know what I'm dealing with. You
they're
don't
not
know.
here no more. You told me to shut up and now they're gone. Look. Let's talk about it.
See, let's talk about it. You don't know absolutely nothing about my life.
Okay, let's
Right?
talk about talk
So-
about
Okay.
Right,
I
right.
wanna
So-
know why you were triggered.
So who you with right now that you told
God
to shut up
damn,
in this
if you shut up, you will understand. This is what you got to learn to shut up. You talk too much. So being able to be quiet and receive the information and understand to respond and not listen to respond is a big thing. Learn how to do that. Shut up. So like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, Knicks,
These two.
you have absolutely no idea what I deal with in my life, right? So you can't speak about my life.
Yeah, you a black
Right?
man.
God damn it. See, you gotta learn how to shut up. You gotta learn how to shut up.
I
This is-
don't.
she
You like
gave
you
me-
said, I don't. I'm not a black man, so I don't.
Shit.
But she give you a gateway. She give you a gateway, Jay.
Well, that's not my old lady. So
Right.
my old lady,
Ain't
you
got
know. See, we're on the platform right now, right, Chop?
Right,
So
right.
I'm not going. I don't have to be J Twan. I don't
Right.
have to be JT. Right now, I'm Batman. So I'm gonna tell you to shut up. That's what I'm gonna do. Like you gotta just
So
shut
you
up.
saying, okay, and that's a good example though, actually.
That's
Because
a great example.
That's a great example because a lot of times now for me, I don't really change. I'm always the same.
I got
So he got alter egos and you don't? Why you have
Well-
alter egos, Batman?
Why are you putting?
I'm just asking.
Jeez.
He's
What?
consistent with his wife on this
Right.
podcast.
Nessa, what you got a
at
question,
work.
Nessa? You got a question?
No, I want her to share her
Oh, he
opinion.
Sasha
Oh,
Fierce
okay,
right
okay.
there.
Point.
Beyonce at the house
You got
with
a
Sasha
point.
Fierce on stage.
Here's
like,
the thing, right? Just
I
like
just wanna
Chop
know.
just said.
It gotta make sense.
Chop just said he's pretty much the same person, right?
Very
When
consistent.
he's doing things. He just said, Mr. Torn, he said he's one person at home and one person here.
No.
This could
He said
cause
three
the
people. It was,
exact same
Batman.
controversy in a Travis Hunter situation. Because if you're this way out here, someone can easily say, well, damn, you tell your girl to shut the fuck up? And now she has to answer that question.
Absolutely not.
Which is
Absolutely not.
What's
Because
your rebuttal?
my rebuttal is this: none of these ladies are my ladies.
You
Okay.
don't have one.
But that's
You
where all
don't
the attention
know
is going.
what I
Where's she
have.
at?
Next,
I just
no,
want
no,
to
no,
know
no,
who
no, I
you
got
told
it,
to shut
I
the
got
fuck up
it,
and
I
they
got it,
still
I got
around
it.
because they're gone.
I got it.
They're gone. You have two parents. Who
What's her?
raised
What
you?
was her name?
Who raised you?
What was the last person's name?
Refocus, because I'm
Because you
black
don't know.
person.
You don't know.
No, I don't. I just know she ain't here.
Why would she be here?
So
She
she's
ain't
saying,
around.
how do you deal with
Number one, I wouldn't deal with women that talk that much.
But all women
Um,
talk, Jay.
Nah. See,
But see that
certain
conversation
caliber
right
of women know
Yes.
when to speak.
this
right?
this creates a
So,
chasm
no.
right
Hold on, wait.
now
Y'all cut me off.
Hold on,
Y'all
let him
Go
get
ahead, beloved.
let him get- let him get his piece. Let him get his piece.
So all right, women carry themselves in a certain manner, right? A woman that deals with a man, not a bitch ass nigga that you can tell what to do,
Carry on.
right?
Fabulous.
A man.
Yeah.
You
Carry
know what I
on.
mean? You ain't gonna tell no man that knows how to lead and your ass follow what the fuck to do.
But if you're properly leading, then there is no need for me to interject.
But that's the thing. We're not talking about if we're properly leading. We're talking about a man that's already leading you. We're not talking about if he's capable of doing that.
But even in leading, if you have a woman,
You're
because
moving
they
the
say the
goalposts.
man is the
You're
head,
moving
but
the
the woman.
goalposts. You're moving the goalposts.
Okay,
Understand
let's
what
finish your point
understand
first,
what-
and
thank
then
you.
I'll chime in.
Understand what I'm saying. If I'm with you, you properly chose, right? I vetted you. You took that, right? Now we're in this relationship, so you know that I have the capabilities of leading you. You don't have to ask that question if I'm properly leading you.
But how do
So,
you properly and consistently translate that? Because sometimes you might have the right intention, but your execution is off. And in the execution, you can make your woman feel
Why are
some
we
type
putting
of
so
way.
many other stipulations on this?
It's not.
But it's
but
not
no.
a stipulation.
Let him
It's
talk.
real
Please,
life.
let him talk.
Why
man,
you-
please.
Why
Oh, why
Let
you
him.
get on the couch?
Please.
Why you gotta get on the mic because they gotta hear you, bro. You gotta get on the mic.
Please.
This is the thing, and I
Please.
get what she's saying because this is why I get what she's saying because you both can leave the house and say we're going to Sheikah's house. Sheikah's having a party. We're going to Sheikah's house, and I know we're going to Sheikah's house. She knows we're going to see Sheikah's house, but I get the GPS messed up. I lose track of where we're going. And so, in the midst of me losing track of where we're going, she says, "Baby, you made a wrong turn." And I tell her, "You shut the fuck up." And listen, she realized it, and then now I'm driving 2 miles in the opposite direction, and I say, we going the wrong way. Why you ain't say nothing?
And that's what I think a key component of when
And I
you're
won't say nothing
executing
else.
and leading as a man, a leader in general, whether you're man or woman, it comes to a point where you have to ask yourself, as a leader, sometimes I can take the back seat, because if you want me to trust you as your woman, why don't you trust me? Or I'm sorry, if you want me to trust you as my man, why don't you trust me and reciprocate as a
Exactly.
woman?
Let me tell you, I can say this.
No other race has their men challenged like black people. The black
Debatable.
man get challenged on every point about
But okay, no, because I know some Spanish couples.
Thank you.
I know some Spanish
I
couples.
know some
And
Caucasian
I've been in an
couples.
interracial dynamic where he is fully of a different culture and I am obviously half and half, and we've ran into those
And I'm
situations.
not saying that those don't happen. I'm saying the most. If you look right now, our men, there's not a difference between white men cheating and black men cheating. Our information just get put out there because our women air us out because of respect level. These white CEOs, they cheat on their women left and right, go to massage parlors fucking left and right. Nope, they women keep it silent. Our women, as soon as you
'Cause they don't wanna
look
go
at
to
them,
work.
Wait a minute.
at somebody else, that nigga ain't shit.
They don't-
Wait, I got two.
The
I
only
have
reason
2
why is
points.
because they don't want to go to work. That's called privilege.
But no, also it's another thing to that,
You
Nikita.
said-
It's another thing to that. I got 2 points for that.
Okay.
It's 2 things.
I'm gonna go with privilege.
You
first.
have to
Carry
you
on.
have to understand. So I want to first tackle just the leader thing. I'm gonna make it real short, very concise. The most effective leaders, period, whether that's management, relationship, friendship, the most effective leaders are servant leaders. That's why in churches you have servant leaders. You must be able to serve and able to be able to lead effectively. I am a purchasing manager. I get in with my guys. I do everything they do. The only woman. But being a servant leader shows you that I can not only just do, I can show you, let you do, and let you do it and leave you alone. And that's as a woman. I'm the only woman in my department. Surrounded by men. That's my first point.
And let me tell you, you got a
I have a
second one?
second
Go ahead,
point because I want to tackle what he
Go ahead.
said. I want to go over what he said.
Go ahead.
The difference when it comes to cheating being aired out, it could be a multitude of things, but the smallest way I can taper it, right, is when it comes to if you want to put white, black, super high end or super money makers, right? The difference is the kind of woman you cheat with. White women get they men, they get escorts who shut the fuck up. They pay their 10 bands to go home. Other men get hood rats who don't shut the fuck up. And because they talk, they get more money. And when they're done with you, they go get more money. So it comes down to the caliber of woman that he chooses. Because as a leader, he has to choose and he has to vet. You feel me? But if he is not choosing the proper women, you get put on Front Street because based on Batman's logic, you choose, you vet. So if you choose a woman who runs her mouth, that is your choice.
I never choose that type of woman.
But now let me tell you where I had to understand things at, because I'm married, and for me, I've always done good financially or whatever the case may be, but I never like excluded or separated anything between me and my wife. Now at the end of the day, everything everything my name is on, her name is on. When they start calling and saying, "Hey Jamal, is Jane there?" I'm like, "You called my phone, but she's my wife."
Mhm.
The people don't see none of that stuff that you thinking. They see what's on paper.
Mm-hmm.
She's my wife, so I can't even make a decision without, not even with my own body.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't understand the concept of that when you're dealing with relationship. They're gonna you have to be able, if you're married and that's what you're trying to do, if that's what you're trying to get to, this guy, and I love him. I think he's a very good person. You know what I'm saying, Travis Hunter. But you should not be getting married at 20, 21, 22. None of that. You should not be getting married. And if and I will say why I feel like that. You haven't experienced life. You haven't experienced life.
I don't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I wouldn't be here if my parents didn't get married at 19 and 20.
Okay. But
'Cause there are
then
some that make it.
but then not and don't take this the wrong way.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need a second drink.
They got a
I
deal.
need a shot.
They got to deal with you, motherfucker. They got to deal with you
Well,
because
dealing with me being the overachiever of
the
two kids that they
overachiever.
had,
But
right?
are you the man that your mom? And this is a weird
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
No, it's a
Are
real
you the
question.
man that your mom
Uh-huh.
would marry?
most likely. 'Cause
Based on what?
Jay,
I'm identical to my father.
I think. Well, I can't say because that's my opinion. I can't. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't say that. But I mean, what you at? What,
Yes. May I ask, just for context, what decade or year your parents got married?
1971.
Okay. Do you think that maybe based on the times they got married, it was
Oh,
a
of
little bit
course.
more acceptable?
Well,
And
of
because
course.
of the access that women did or did not have, it put women in a position to tolerate things that in our generation or in later times they probably wouldn't have to put up
No,
with
don't say
because of
Don't say because well, let's just call a spade then. Women of that caliber and year of marriage were more understanding to what marriage really was.
But why do you think we still can't understand
Well,
that
we
now?
don't.
Hold on, real quick.
We
Based
don't.
on what?
Shout out Sharifa. Hold on, hold your thought.
You see
Reba
it?
so silly.
Sharifa
That's
said,
my baby.
"Damn,
Hey,
I'm a
Reba.
hood rat because I don't shut the fuck up."
Hey, Reba. That's
Hey,
my
Reba.
baby.
Now, what you say? I had to shout out Reba. Hey,
It's some
Van,
fucking-
shout out to you. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's chiming in and everybody that's paying attention and logging into the conversation. Love it, like it, share it, and put your comments. Sam, wait, I want to read Sam's comment. Can't be love if we're talking to each other like this.
Absolutely.
Even
that's
if
love.
there,
She said me something.
hold on, I can't see the other part. Even if there is disagreements, let's change our language to build relation. Maybe you heard of this before. Use words that are edifying to each other. I agree.
So I don't agree with telling them to shut the fuck up, but I do agree. Sometimes they need to learn to shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
But
I
we-
agree with you.
That's not.
There is
that's
a
not-
place
my
and
thing
a
is, That's
time.
not all women though.
But we know.
What I women say, oh, I need a man that can handle me. You're not an animal. I'm not an Egyptian.
I don't say that.
My thing.
But-
Listen.
I don't say that.
My
That
thing
nigga
is,
say,
I'm not. My thing is this.
You're not an animal.
I
I'm
don't
not
need
in
to
the
be handled.
zoo.
This is-
Wait, let me. I want to.
I do need to be
Please, please,
supported, encouraged.
My
Go
thing
ahead.
is this: if you're gonna date somebody and you know that you don't want a mouthy girl, because like he said, he might be Jay Twan today or Batman tomorrow.
Oh,
Listen,
The mouth is the challenge that I'm talking
no, but give it a second. Give me a
I'm taking
second.
what I said
My
out of
thing is
context.
this: who y'all see on this podcast is not who I am. I do not disrespect anybody. I barely curse. Like my family never hear me curse. I don't curse on my boyfriend. I don't fight. I don't argue. I don't do any of that. That's not me. I
No.
might seem a little intimidating, but that's not me.
Not that tough.
And that's my thing is that's people's perception of me.
Right.
That's just their perception. I've had a friend
So
before.
you kind of agree with Jay.
No, I'm not agreeing with him. My thing is, he's sitting here telling me that you got to tell a woman to shut the fuck up. That's not the woman you need to
taking
be
what I'm
with.
saying out of context.
I'm not taking nothing out
Yes,
of
you are.
context.
You talk too
My
much and don't
thing is,
listen.
my thing is, you want a woman who
I
is
just
gonna
want
be
something.
quiet, but you getting
You
visions
don't
that
know what
they're
I
not
want.
here.
You don't know.
Wait,
Of course they're not gonna be here. See, hold on, wait, time out. Hold on, wait, fuck that.
Wait.
That. See, hold on.
And then it just brings me to the question of why do men cheat with the opposite of what they claim they want?
But I also want to ask.
You want a quiet
It's
woman,
moving the goalpost
but you
for
breaking
the person.
backs
Money.
of women who are just loud.
Hey, big brother.
Why?
Now.
But see, also I have a question. The same way when she just said, you know, she's not like this or whatever the case may be, and you said you're not like that, but when I made the comment, you instantly became a bobblehead, right? Because
Well, number one, y'all don't let me speak. Because every time I speak, y'all
what you say don't make
interject.
sense.
Oh,
It don't.
Jesus.
It don't.
But so still,
If there's a cause and effect.
But
okay,
also
but
in
then,
regard,
but then he still has a point. He
No,
still
his
has
point is,
a-
and when he just said what he said, I get it. I see why he is the way he is because that's what he knows.
but at the same time, you would be Travis Hunter's girlfriend if you and your girlfriend had a brand.
What you?
Because you are the mouthy one technically. You would be the one that's
you be
out.
out here ruining
I tell her
brand.
to shut the fuck up. And imagine she has this brand that is an
So
upstanding
if it was
housewife.
what's the athletic girl, the gymnast that done won all those
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. So her boyfriend came out and he was
was
saying,
surprised.
right? He was like, she wasn't even my type.
And they told him up.
They ripped him to pieces.
That's the same thing with Keke Palmer.
And the rapper too. What's the rapper who the one who can't stop giving them women babies? The one they always wear green. They just got married. Toby. And he told the world she wasn't my type. She wasn't this. She wasn't that. We are picking and choosing what we want to apply. And the craziest part about it, we're applying it to children. We are expecting so much of them when at the very same time we have other athletes who are in their 30s who have had time to sit on this money, deal with this money, deal with their own traumas, but we're expecting this 21-year-old who only had that one coochie in his life to drop her because y'all think she bad for him. Y'all don't know what she do for him. Y'all don't know what she may be doing for that baby.
Which brings me to something I've always believed in. Until you are comfortable with yourself, and to you all's point, until you've had some experience, you will never truly know if you're choosing somebody from a place of authenticity and compatibility versus codependency, loneliness, and just wanting to be chose. I don't want to be alone, so I'm going to just settle with you. Why?
They've never lived together. They don't split bills together.
You chewing tobacco.
They still in college. They don't have any. They don't have a mortgage. They don't have real bills. They haven't seen real struggle outside of college struggle.
But then you got to look at it from our perspective. This goes back to the question that we were talking about having a relationship in private or in public. So you know what you're preparing for. You know, you would never see Janae would never walk out here. You probably, if you catch her on camera, it'll be quick. She would never walk. She knows like how she feels about how she feels. So that's her. I understand that. I can't push it. People like, oh man, you and they cool as hell. Y'all should just have a whole show about it. She don't feel like that.
It's not her ministry.
That's not
okay.
That's
but
not
she
her.
supports you, and that's good. That's all you need.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, how you got to look at it, if you're preparing yourself for actual public relationship, you got to think about public backlash. You got to think about public backlash. Y'all can't let J-Twan get under y'all skin. Everybody know I
ain't nobody
did.
nigga. Anybody worry.
The last sentence, though, the disrespect is going to turn her up more.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's like telling me to shut up. I promise I won't shut the fuck up. And I am one. I will literally. I am the one to get quiet. My feelings get hurt real easy. I shut up in a heartbeat. But once I shut up, don't ever ask me to speak again. Because that's something you have to prepare for. You want me to shut the fuck up, right? Say less. Don't ask me a fuck thing.
Exactly. Don't be mad when I give you what you
thing. Not a fuck thing.
I think that you have to. What you was gonna say, Juan?
If I'm talking, you talking. Like the whole time, J-Twan was saying, Batman was saying stuff. Y'all was talking over him. Y'all stepping on his toes. Y'all stepping on his shoes.
Thank you.
Every time he tried to say something. So how can I then lead you if every time I say something, you say something?
Thank you.
You can't even hear the direction.
Say that shit in the mic. Come on.
He's talking over you.
I wasn't never talking. So
You just said so. What you
I'm
mean?
saying y'all can't even hear the direction of the orders because while he talking, you talking. Everybody, y'all talking over him. So then you, on one end, you ask for a man that lead, a man that provide. Then you got a man that's providing and trying to lead, but you can't shut him and sit down. You can't move out the way and let him give you the direction so that he can lead you.
So here's the thing. For me specifically, I'm only speaking for me. I'm not asking J-Twan to lead me because the man that lead me will never have to say that to me. Because servant leaders don't gotta say shit. They do. So I know my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl through and through. My parents were together for over 20 years. So my thing is,
nicer.
for me, my man, my leader. Trust me when I tell you. I know. I ain't gotta say nothing.
So the crazy part about all of this is that before I even got a chance to elaborate on what I was trying to say, I don't have to tell the women that I deal with to shut the fuck up because they already understand who I am. I understand and respect them as well, so I wouldn't have to tell them to shut the fuck up. But when I say shut the fuck up, that's what I look for in my woman, to know how to stay in a woman's place. Like, you don't have to try to cut me off every time I say something because you don't like what I'm saying. How about you take the information, receive it, and then say something? So, not take the information and just because you don't like a word that I said, oh, no, I'm not gonna do this. You gotta learn how to shut up and understand.
Okay, hold on.
I would never tell my ladies to shut the fuck up.
Okay, so can this be a delivery issue? Do you think
no? Because I don't tell my ladies to shut.
No,
the fuck
not
up.
even just because sometimes I don't have to say anything. I can act this. I can huff and puff. I huff and puff. Y'all, if y'all walk through the house, y'all see Adonis in there. He is gonna let you know he's mad. He's gonna let you know he's upset. He gonna let you know this and then the third. Me, I'm the same way. I don't have to say anything. I will huff and puff, or I will give you my. You will feel that I'm not. I'm not having it. I'm not feeling it. I don't want to talk no more. Nothing. It ain't no more conversation. I don't ever have to use those words. That's me. I don't have to use those words. But at the same time, ain't no more conversation.
So I'll say this, right? And the point that I wanted to circle back to, it wasn't about you saying that women need to shut the fuck up. It's my response to that was, in this particular case, you being on a podcast, you will put your significant other in the same situation that Travis Hunter's girlfriend is putting him in. You're allowing the dialogue to even be a thing because of what you're saying here. Because it'll make you question how they see you here will make them question how you do your relationship. So it's the same thing with her. Yeah, she's being her. But if you I don't have to tell my to shut the fuck up. But the fact that you would tell a woman in general, well, you need to learn how to shut the fuck up. Do you have that same trigger in your relationship? Even if it's irrelevant, you ain't gotta ever answer the question. Because most of the time people ask questions. If you ask me a question and I ain't gotta answer it, I promise I won't. I'm gonna just look at you, right? But if you're in a space, and this young lady is now in a space, in a spotlight, to where everything she does will be scrutinized. We have the luxury of not being scrutinized. We have that luxury of not having the camera, because I don't like people know it. But imagine if someone questioned every one of your motives for you being human.
Yes, and that's a spinoff of what you're saying now. I think a lot of times, to your point, when you're not in the public eye, you have that grace of being able to see your partner and grow with your partner in all of their seasons. So they've been together, 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah. Do we think that though they are young, that they've had that time to see each other in their different seasons, and they've still made the conscious choice to say, okay, I choose you? And that's where we get into the point of, when you have more time into a relationship, Jatwan, I think that you can take your parents as a great example. You said they got married at teenagers, basically. As you continue to grow and evolve in a marriage, in a partnership that is evenly yoked, there is going to be times, if you ask any couple, I love my partner, but in this season, I do not like you. And that's where you have to make the conscious decision, which also goes back to, can you thrive in secrecy?
Yeah.
It's giving each other the grace, asking yourself, do I still choose to love you even when I don't feel it? And when I don't feel it, am I willing to support you in the midst of the backlash that you're getting? Because I know you differently than anybody else does.
And I'll double down, but and I know this may not be fan favorite, but I get what Jay is coming from, in a sense, because you should not, if a person is going through the toils and going through the relationship and going through all these things with you, you should not have to tell them to shut the fuck up. You shouldn't. You're how you react to whatever is going on, whatever may have happened. You have that look on your face. You ain't even gotta look at them all the way,
And they know.
but you have that look on your face that says,
"Hey, you're doing too much.
you doing
Calm
too
down.
much.
Just calm down."
And so I think even though it may not come as off as harsh as shut the fuck up, but my look says you somebody better be
down.
careful,
Yeah.
little buddy.
Yeah.
Somebody better be careful. You know,
Absolutely.
so I get what Jay's saying. I get it because at the end of the day, like yo, you don't want to have to go through all that back and forth, and that goes back to the point of what we was talking about with Travis. It's listen, the moment he did anything and said and just tried to embrace her,
Which he
did, it's no way her reaction should have been to turn her face. It's no way that her reaction she should have been sitting up there clapping like a seal when he was receiving that reward. Am I lying? Because you know what time it is.
Absolutely.
You know what time it is. Nobody should have to tell you, hey, get up and get your man.
And you know what's crazy to that? She spoke about that because she said it. She's
bullshit,
trying to find. But how do we know? Maybe she's trying to find a healthy balance between not being too much and not being enough. So when she chose to take a step back, she stepped too far back. And now she chose to take a step forward. Now she's too far forward. We're not giving her grace because I think we're also programmed because he's not with a black woman.
No.
So we are triggered.
No, I won't agree with that. I will say,
Look, we would expect
I
that
will
from a black
listen
woman.
because if it was a black woman, they would have ate that black woman alive.
They eat her up too.
If she pulled anything, what she pulled.
But based on history, whether it's the NFL draft or the NBA draft, the black girls ain't never the one acting the ass. It's the white girls and the Spanish girls. The black girls sit down, they let the mama come sit down because we know. But that's not who y'all choose.
But that's not everybody because you have a bunch of. I just seen Denzel Washington's wife that's been behind him for how many years, and she controlled the interview. Absolutely. Have you ever seen an interview with Denzel and his wife? She controls the interview. I watch all that stuff. I love podcasts, but I'm a podcaster. So I sit there and I watch all of that stuff.
But if I think about the last few years, looking at CeeDee Lamb when he got drafted, his little Spanish one sitting next to him. Looking back when Russell Wilson got drafted, his white girl, she was all up in arms. You never see, if we want to be honest, you never see the young black girls in the forefront with their men because culturally we know to take a step back, especially if mama there. Yeah. We know to be respectful. We know to take a step back, but most of the time it's not seen. Those are not the ones that's on the cameras. They're not showing them. We're not showing this image. We're showing the loud ones. We're showing the ones jumping up, hugging their man because they know they just got a paycheck too.
Right.
But we don't say nothing about those. But in this particular moment, Travis is a media darling. We love him. We don't want anything bad to happen to him. No, he's good,
but like I'm not gonna tell my son to follow him. I mean, that's just me being, being honest. No, I'm being honest. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna tell my son to do what he's doing.
But he's a great kid. What is he doing?
He's a good. I believe
he has a 4.0 GPA. He just won the Heisman. He was drafted in the first round, probably top 5.
I believe he's gonna be a great athlete, and I believe he's gonna be a good man.
So what makes him not followable?
You can't be no sucker, man. You can't
it's a lot of suckers out here.
But you can't be no sucker.
What Kendrick say? It's a lot of goofies with a check.
Listen, you can keep thinking and it'll be a lot of them that's with him right now that's gonna take his check. She gonna take half. Trust me.
But he's not the only one. He's just the one looking at him.
But we're trying to correct him.
But you're not gonna correct him because, like I said,
why y'all ain't
I'm not. Listen, first of all, I don't care because I'm not gonna get none of the money from him. I'm not going to touch
We want to see him do well.
I want to see him do well. And he's also a role model to my kids.
But we know, just to be fair, at 21, 22, you wasn't getting up off of that man. You wasn't getting up off of that woman.
Man, listen,
I was.
Just because stuff happened, it's a lot of things. I ain't have a daddy until I was 17. Don't mean I didn't need to be fathered.
Very true, but who's going to do it?
So, This is the main point of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main point. Getting that out there, getting people to see this. Like, yo, that's not you. You should not be disrespected in that way. Number one, you the check. He's the check.
He is
What?
the bag.
What do they say? Protect the bag.
Where are the sunbeams, Jesus? Where's Tasha Mack?
Is the
Okay.
bag? Is the bag being?
Girl,
Is the bag
Melanie.
being protected though?
It's not, because there's no sunbeams. They got med school together.
Can
Okay?
you imagine all the shit that niggas finna be talking while he's out there defending them or trying to score on them? Nigga, you can't control your wife. How you think you gonna
Exactly.
control
It's a
me?
part of it.
Exactly. They're gonna
And you
tear
know
up.
what? But you know what?
Good point.
I agree with y'all when y'all said that they're young. So he a jit, but this is the thing. He got the steering wheel because so the older adults around him, they not gonna check him because
They
he
on
got-
payroll.
And that's the
They
problem.
who on your
That's the
payroll
problem.
gonna check you.
So she don't know, bro. You supposed to chill right here. She don't know, so she's stomping around.
Yeah.
moving and stuff. Let all her chill.
Somebody she needs to be coachable. She needs to be coachable, and I would hope she is. Good point. What? I would hope she finds a mentor. Call Savannah, honey. Call
Okay.
her so
Which
she
is a
can
great
Okay.
segue
So
to
she
our
can say
next
the hood.
question.
Right.
Please,
You should bring
Okay.
it out. You should bring it out.
So this
Savannah
is a
wanna
great
fuck that
segue into
shit.
our next question. In a relationship, do you think it's possible for both parties to evolve into their highest selves at the same time?
No.
Or do you think that one person must sacrifice? And if one person is sacrificing, do you think it should always be the woman? Or do you think it's just based on the relationship itself?
I feel like it depends on what it is. What this higher self is.
Elaborate.
Look at me
Elaborate,
agreeing with him.
Nikita.
So here,
That's
if
lovely.
we say, if we all believe that as individuals, God brought us here for a purpose, and that purpose is to be a living vessel, an extension of God, no matter how He chooses you to live that out. If you're so rooted in your purpose and you're so in tune
I
with
see
your
what you're saying.
relationship with God, at what point do you create the boundary of what God wants you to do versus you building those relationships? Which is why I say, can you truly evolve into your highest self in a relationship, or do you automatically have to sacrifice? And who does it?
It depends on how your relationship is centered. If we want to take it to God and take it to the book, every person that He gave a mission, every person that was supposed to do something was paired with somebody else.
Amen.
Right? So when He told, oh goodness, what's her name? Mary cousin, the one who had John,
Oh
Zacharias.
yeah.
When Gabriel came to Zacharias and said, "You will have a child," and he was like, "Well, I'm old. She old." He was like, "You will have a child, and you will name him John." And you know what? Shut up until the baby get here, since you don't believe me. No way.
Who was it?
He-
Ruth
he-
or no?
No, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth,
Yeah,
okay.
Elizabeth.
You have to understand, if you want to take it to root it in your faith,
Mhm.
because I am on my own faith journey right now, you have to root it in God from the beginning, because you have to understand, you can pray and you can cry out and you can seek and you can fast. God is not going to send you that person until you are ready for that person, right? So on your journey, some of that you have to do alone, because you have to understand, when you're on your faith journey with God, He needs you by Himself. He needs you stripped. He needs you naked. So you can only depend on Him. When you have that helpmate, right, that significant other that is sent by Him, you're going to lean on them sometimes. But sometimes you have to just do it on your own. You have to be on that walk by yourself. So yes, you can ascend to your higher self with a mate, but they have to also be fully tuned in, equally yoked to the to the 10th power, because you have to both understand your purpose. And if, as your mate, they are rooted in faith and they understand your purpose, they won't deter your purpose. They'll push your purpose. They'll push you on days you don't want to push yourself, because you need that. And that's how you know if the person is God sent. So yes, it's possible, but I think it's very difficult if you do it without God. That's just me.
Yeah.
I agree.
IJS.
Yeah, I do.
I ain't
I have to agree with you, because it's in relationship, you have to understand it's seasons, and we all have different seasons.
Mhm.
So you it's gonna be a time where I'm up, and it's gonna be a time where my wife is up,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be a time where I'm pushing her up, and it's gonna be a time when she's pulling me up. It's just, that's how it works. But you gotta know who you willing to go through that with, or who you willing to deal with that with. But it also comes down to, does the person understand who you are? I have multiple people at my house all the time.
What about if they both atheists?
Now they could be okay. So if
Then
they
who they
don't,
gotta look to?
but so okay, you
That's your
can.
choice.
But we could take God out of it.
We
I
could
was just
take
throwing
God
it
out
in
of
there
it.
for
No, we can't,
context
'cause
and,
I'm not.
Yeah.
and
Y'all figure
variation.
that out.
No,
I ain't taking
like,
it
I
out.
include him, but everybody's
So
different.
I'm just saying. I feel like it's possible, just as long it depends on what it is.
It's
This is
whatever
the
you're
thing.
rooted in.
You
Something
have
has
to
to
be
be your
able.
stronghold.
You have to be able
Mhm.
to understand that it's you. Like when I look at my wife, if something happened to her, if she gets a flat tire, I got a flat tire.
Mhm.
My bank account gonna see
We
it.
got a
We
flat
got a flat tire. If she, if something is not going right, or something, even it could be something at the job. What they doing? What's going on at the
Mhm.
job? I understand it the same way. She don't know nothing about electricity, but she constantly, baby, you got your hot gloves. Oh, make sure you ain't working on a live power. She don't know nothing about electricity.
She know enough to keep you safe.
She know enough to remind me to keep my behind safe. And that's the thing. When it doesn't, you could take God out of the equation. You know, at the end of the day, because everybody doesn't have to be religious. At the same time, if you are tapped into a person, I wanted to read a lot of these comments. Go up, Jay. I wanted to read shout out to Van, shout out to Hicks. Stanley, man, I appreciate you, dudes, checking in, bro. I appreciate you. Okay, go. Yeah, she's not ready and probably don't understand the spotlight and compared to being behind the lights of lifestyle. I agree with that, Dre. Oh, shout out to Dre, man. Dre Day, what it is. Reva say Prime
Maybe my
told
glasses.
him, Travis, this is going
Who, Coach
right,
Prime?
right,
Oh, okay.
Prime, Dion. To write a Nut. Sam, shout out, cuz. What's up, Sam? Um, the man Travis has a trust already set up, nothing being his name. That I mean, beyond that, I deal with that stuff on a day-to-day basis. When it comes down to relationship, I don't want to hear like nothing about no trust because I'm in a trust. At the end of the day, you know, I still get up and carry my ass to work every day. My daddy did the right thing and whatever he did and set up. At the same time, I don't. That's not me. And my wife is going to think the same way. That's not me. I gotta still have me, and I gotta still take care of me. And I push that. She's supposed to have her own identity. She's supposed to be her own person. And I have to make sure she's comfortable in that space to be that for the both of us. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. And being married, you understand those things. Like I said, when somebody called his house, they don't just ask for my name. Even if I wanted, when I had these solar panels put up here, they said, "Is Jane gonna be home?" I said, "That's not even her name. Her name's Janae."
You got solar panels?
Yeah, is Jane gonna be home? Because that's how it works. But at the end of the day, that I know that that plays a part in my greatness and how good I can be and how far I can make it.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to, because I don't even know her name. That's the thing. We know her. Do anybody know her name?
No, I don't even know her name. We only know
That's
Travis
crazy,
Hunter.
right? We don't even know her name.
We don't even know her name.
She's at the middle of everything. But, because I want to be fair to her,
Mm-hmm.
we think that she even knows who she is? She don't know who she is. At this point, she is the girlfriend of Travis Hunter. She doesn't have her own identity.
She's trying to make one.
Right? She's trying to figure it out. And culturally, you know, we want to make sure that we secure the bag for the family. We want future generational wealth. And I know that's a factor as well. But how much are you willing to lose of yourself?
Yes.
To just say, because right now it's, hey girl, get the bag. But is anyone checking on her mental health? Is anyone saying, you okay, baby girl?
Right.
Because right now we focused on how she making him look and how he doing.
Jay.
Right? Are we even asking, you all right? Do we know if they have any past? Has she ever been pregnant by him? Have they ever had any internal issues? right?
Jay,
What are they rooted in?
listen.
I personally feel like they got people who, have spoken to them. Just from me looking at the little clip of Deion Sanders telling her to get up.
You felt like that was wrong, right?
No, I don't feel like.
No, I mean, do you feel
Like
like
she should have got up?
My thing is, I ain't gonna say that just because I know how young they are, and certain people ain't used to the spotlight, whatever the case may be. But I'm saying him making a gesture to tell her to get up. There's people around him who have given them some kind of guidance. It's all at the end of the day. It's all about them listening. At the end of the day,
yeah.
Especially the people who sitting here who got kids. Y'all got kids. Y'all tell them a whole bunch of shit. Don't fucking listen. They do what the fuck they want to do. And my thing is, think back to when you was 18, 19.
You had to take a spit for that one.
Yeah,
So-
you weren't getting up off of that.
When
man.
you got that
Jay,
feet.
what do you feel like? I want to hear your
No,
thoughts.
I didn't say that
That's
about losing
no,
herself,
no.
but I'm saying there's people in that corner.
I like that
What-
question.
what
Let's
do you
come back to that.
What are your
Quick
thoughts
question.
on Dion telling her or suggesting to her to get up and get her man? I mean, or giving advice to these young people, because I mean that's what it seems like.
That's what he says, advice, yeah.
What's my take on Dion telling her to get up,
yeah.
telling him to get out?
Hmm?
That's it.
Wait, hold on. I got
Telling
it.
Travis Hunter to get out. If somebody else have to tell you to get up for your man,
Oh, I get what you're saying.
it's time to go, brother.
I get what you're saying. I feel the same, because I feel like because what are you doing at this point? Are you acting? Are you playing a role? Somebody needs to tell you what to do or how to do.
Let me ask you a question, Chop. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
for cutting you off.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna be together in the next 5 years?
No.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
No. I don't. And
many relationships.
but this is my thing. This
That's
is
life.
but this is my reasoning, and because I don't think they should be in this serious of a relationship at this age, and that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I just don't. You know how much of the world I did not see. I was the first time I went to DR. I probably was 28. Listen, you ain't been to DR. You ain't been to Columbia. You ain't been.
But you know what, Chop? I think because I had a high school love, so to speak, right? We were together for 4 years. We look at these long lasting relationships and really think about the person that you love and you care about, and you're able to experience all these beautiful things with this person. So me looking at your perspective is, well, you need to go out and experience life. I want to experience life with my person. I can go out with my friends, but me dancing to a song, I would love to do that with my man, right? So I think we're being a little unfair, and I wanted to circle back to his question because he asked, why does she have to lose herself?
Right. If they're a team, how is it that she's losing herself by investing in him? Like, if we're a team and we both go in here, then you should know how to take a role. You might just shoot threes, or go over there on the line and shoot threes. You're not Michael Jordan, so you don't have to lose yourself to invest in somebody if he got the hot hand. If I'm dating Oprah, she got the money. I know how to. Same thing you say. I know how to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Would you know how to do that at 21 though?
Right, and that's what
Cause we ain't heard nothing from Stedman. We ain't heard nothing from Stedman.
But she got
Stedman is not
Stedman
an
later
alpha
on.
male. Stedman not no alpha
They're
male.
Stedman
young.
chilling.
She don't know, like,
Yeah.
oh, we ain't supposed to do that.
They're young.
And he not
So-
catching the cues too.
You're right.
So,
Because
Chop,
Yeah.
even me at 25, when I had my son, I'm 25 years old. I have my child. I lost myself in having my son.
You supposed to.
No, I'm me.
Oh.
I'm a person.
So
You are a
Yes.
person, but
You don't lose yourself in a
You
child.
don't lose yourself, but
No,
you
no.
lose a part
No,
of
no,
yourself.
you lose yourself, baby. You lose your teeth. You lose your hair. You lose your body.
give
You
birth.
lose your
You
mind.
don't give
You
birth.
lose your
Now.
coochie. You lose your bladder.
I don't have a coochie to
He
lose,
don't
ma'am.
give birth. That's
Ah,
what
yeah.
I'm telling you.
But what
You
I'm
don't
saying
give
I've
is,
birth.
never given a
it's-
penny coochie,
we
and
have
I want
to-
that to be on record.
But what I'm saying
yeah.
is, it's very easy to, and even going back to the Aisha thing, it is so easy as a woman. I don't think we realize how easy it is to lose yourself in life. We lose ourselves
I get
at
what you're
work.
saying.
Multiple
We
times.
lose ourselves in the family, being the middle child, being the black sheep as a woman. Yes, I know black men have it so hard, and I love y'all down, but you don't understand, as a black woman operating in 2024, you will lose yourself every single day and somehow still have to figure out how to be a friend, how to be a girlfriend, how to be a wife, how to be a baby mama, how to be a supervisor, how to be a regular worker, how to be a director, how to be an executive. It is a lot.
So
And we are
how do you lose yourself in a relationship?
You shift your focus.
Okay.
You shift your focus.
Yeah.
Want me to elaborate? Okay.
Yeah.
So losing yourself in a relationship in multiple ways. You mean like without children? Are we including children?
How do you lose yourself? Yeah.
If you're a giver by nature, you cater directly to that person.
What does that
And
look
if
like?
it's you being 100% about that person without the reciprocity. You lose yourself by giving and pouring and pouring and pouring. And I will always go back to the word because that's what I'm
Reciprocity is like something is reciprocation.
100%.
Shit,
Yes,
I
that's
had-
what, I'm sorry.
I had to go into my
I'm sorry.
dictionary in my head.
It's the reciprocal
Like,
energy,
why would you
right?
pull that word
So
out like
when
that?
you think about it, if you go back to the word and you're pouring into people's cups, right? You're not supposed to pour from your cup unless your cup is overrunning.
Overflowing.
You're supposed to get my overflow. If I am pouring into your cup and your cup is not full, and my cup is not full, and I'm giving you everything I'm got, I give it to you. I will lose sleep. I will lose hair. I will lose weight. I will lose self-confidence. Eventually, I will lose myself because at some point, myself now is you're a part of my identity.
You depleted.
So I have a question. I have a question for and I would like the women to respond first, and then me and Jay can respond afterwards. What do you feel like is the remedy for that? What do you feel like? How do you feel like it? You know, because I know you don't have any babies. You know, now,
Don't do it. It's ghetto.
whatever, but
So I've been told.
It's ghetto.
but
It's so ghetto.
what do you feel like is the remedy if you were to have a relationship, have a child? How do you feel like as a woman in your state? How do you deal with that?
Deal with not losing myself.
Yes.
For me, I feel it's though having outlets that allow you to express yourself, that allow you to feel grounded. So for me personally, my father, he was in the military, but he's always been active and he's always made sure that I was active as an outlet. And for me, now as an adult, having to maintain my own schedule and build my own lifestyle, it's working out. For me, working out is for the mind and the body just comes with it.
Yeah.
Right? So the biggest thing is having outlets that exercise your physical, that exercise your mental, that exercise your spiritual, and that healthily challenge you. But again, it always goes back to if you're in a partnership, you need someone who's going to challenge you just as much. You need somebody who's evenly yoked and sees you for who you are and allows you that safe space to grow
Right.
at your own pace.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Reva just said that up there. She was like, yes, God. I know she meant nay. Yes, God, nay save you from being on your ass. um, I agree. I can't disagree because I feel like she made me a better man. And for that, I feel like when you do or you're able to get with somebody that you can partner with and you understand their strengths and they understand your strengths, it does make you better. And you figure out a way how to flow.
Agree.
You figure out a way how to flow.
Yeah.
Now, Shika, what's your how do you feel like you can how do you get
Not
that?
lose yourself.
Yeah.
You have to. If I have to be completely honest, because I'm gonna keep it funky, you're gonna lose yourself. It's a part of it. It's a part of our strength.
It's part of life.
It's a part of our weakness, and I can only speak Black women specifically. You are going to lose yourself because we are people who cater to everyone else but us. We choose us last. Get the kids fed, get them ready for bed, then I take care of me. I sleep eventually, right? So you're going to lose yourself, but it's having a partner, whether that be a friend, your sister, your significant other, is having someone that recognizes when you're not okay, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is strong. Everyone is so strong. But when it's time for you to not be strong, who's that person who's going to recognize that you're not strong right now, right? So you have to have that sense of community. You have to have that sense of fellowship. It's necessary. We were never meant to be alone,
Okay.
right? So it's having the people around you that can recognize when something's not okay. After I had my son, I didn't know I wasn't okay. You know who
Right.
caught it? My best friend. She called me and was like, "Ashika, you don't hear that baby crying?" And I was like, "What baby?"
Hmm.
I hadn't slept in 36 hours. I was like, "What baby?" She recognized it. She called my parents, and that's who brought me back. I literally was looping.
Now I want to bring something in just off of your last response, Sam. Shout out, cuz again. Andre said the same thing. This will ruin relationships. Sam said that might be a major cause of marital relationships, putting the kids' needs before marriage.
They do it every time.
And that is a big problem. I tell my kids this all the time. Who comes first in this doesn't with family, with your mom, your siblings, whoever. Who comes first in my book? My wife.
Absolutely.
My wife.
As she should. That's how it's supposed to be.
Nobody
That's how
is
God set
going
it up.
to see and do the things that she's seen and done.
That's how God set it up. Your wife.
Your wife. And so in that, even with your kids, and you just like, oh, that's my baby, that's my baby. You have to understand, I love my kids dearly. When they get 18, they finna go live their life.
Two time for you, Chop, recognizing that, because a lot of people do not recognize
They're
it.
gonna go.
And you can, if you look at pictures of families, right, you'll see mommy, daddy, and kids in the middle. When it should be mommy, daddy, and kids on the outside, because they will fall off.
Listen,
You can fall off the edge of the cliff. The foundation got to still be set. Two time for you. Come
man,
on, Chop, today. Yes, ma'am.
I live by that. I live by that because I understand the concept of at the end of the day, when they're gone, when they started their own families and they bring grandchildren to me and this and then the third and whatever the case may be, that's still my partner. That's the person that I have to deal with everything on. So when we don't take that in, when you I never let a nigga come between me and my kids. Well, you would never let a nigga inside. How? What do you? Yeah, they be inside, but not inside your life. They not hanging in there for what's really about to take place and what's really about to happen. I think that you have to understand that concept when you are now. If you just saying, "Yo, I'm finna be out here, I'm for the streets," okay, cool, I get that. But when you looking at it from a relationship perspective, you have to like, yo, my wife is number one. She is on the same level as I'm on.
Absolutely.
She's on the same level as I'm on. And for me, and like I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm just saying, like, I feel bad for this kid in a way, because he is a kid. He's 20, 21. And I think back to where, the things that I was doing at that age, and that's not it. I don't care how long you've been with somebody. We was hunching in third grade and stuff. You can't go back to that. We was, dry humping and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right. Not real.
Are you
like
even
that.
developed?
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the dry rub. The dry rub.
Okay.
Right. So what was that?
What was the question? The original question. I just wanted to say my little piece.
The original question was, do you think you can manage? How can you manage?
For other people.
Right. And at the same time.
Okay, so my answer is because when you said that question, it resonated with me very well. Unlike Ashika, I don't have a child. So, but also, I'm also the middle child, and I'm also like, I don't know if anybody else on the cast has been like, the member of the family to make it, where you have all these people, ask you for money, and it's like, you don't got nobody to go to. It's like everybody can ask me for help, but I don't got nobody to ask for help because everybody else need help. That's where I'm at. So I got an older sister and I got a younger sister, and I'm the responsible one. So for me, it is setting boundaries, and even in relationships, just setting boundaries and sticking to them.
May I ask how you found that balance in creating those boundaries, especially because it's family?
So one thing about me is I'm one of those people who see people touch the stove and get burned and know not to touch it. So I have a 12 and 13-year difference between me and my big sister. So it's like I see all the mistakes my big sister made, and I'm not gonna make them. So one of my big goals was not graduating high school pregnant. My big sister had her child, cap and gown, belly. My mom had my oldest sister, cap and gown, belly.
But shout out to them for still doing it.
No, definitely. But that's just high school.
Right.
My grandmother had my mom at 13. So for me, it's like I can't go down that same path. So that's always been my motivation. So I've always been mentally thinking, I'm not going to let anybody let me drown. No, it definitely didn't stop me. I feel like it made me better because I have a lot of reasons to be a bum, to be broke, to make excuses, to not work hard, but I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I commend you for that because it can be very easy to fall what we would consider victim and being a product of our environment.
Definitely. So, like I said, boundaries and then knowing yourself. Knowing what you can't give no more. Because sometimes you can't rely on other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't. There's times when I'm down and my friends don't see it. You know, like Sheikah said. You know, so...
Now I wonder. I wanted to point out on that last thing Sam said.
Come on, Sam.
Are we serving to get, or are we serving to build?
Or are we serving just to be of service?
Oh no, I serve to build.
So
and the reason why I say I serve to build is I'm one of those people. You know how you could be like, you could teach a man you can give a man food, but if you teach him how to fish. So I'm one of the people. Anybody around me, if you ask me to do something, I'm trying to show you how to do it.
Yes.
I'm big on that. Oh, I don't know how to put on my lashes. Oh no, you gonna try? I'm gonna help you. You do what you're. Like no, it ain't just you. It ain't just you. Oh, I don't know how to do my hair. Oh, I don't know how to. No, I'm gonna teach you. Yeah. That's who I am. I'm real handy. I change a tire, do an oil change, whatever. No, but that's all because I feel like you have to be a survivor at the end of the day.
And whatever good that you have to give, you give. Mm-hmm. Like she tell it, I'm just being real. She like, Chop, you unorganized. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna help you to be organized.
I'm gonna send you this Excel, and you could, put the dates on when you did what topics, so you're not redoing. No, I'm gonna teach you. I'm not gonna handicap. I don't want to profit off of you. I want you to thrive. That's how I see it. And that comes from having so much weight on my shoulders because everybody asking me, let me teach you so you could do it and I could get some of that weight off. That's why I said boundaries and knowing who you are and what you could take. There's only so much. Everybody think that strong person, at some point they weak because they drain from helping everybody. I'm that person. Trust me, I live it every day.
Yeah.
And like I said last time on your podcast, like the strong people, they live in fear because they don't want to fail.
Yeah. You always feel like it's something like even like people look at me a lot of times and they think like, oh dang, Chop got it all together and Chop knows this or Chop is doing this. I feel inadequate often. And I feel like I have to do better. I feel like I need to do better in so many different ways. And I don't think it's nothing wrong with that because perfection is not. It's just, I wrote a song when I was younger. I want to be Christ-like, and not saying that I want to be like, but I want it to be
a vessel
and close to perfect. I wanted to do like the best I could at anything. It didn't matter. Like you see the cats I grew up around, Jay Twan, Juan, and Mark. They out here of a physical vessel of health. I was always the chunky one. I was still running with them. I was still racing with them. I was still swimming because I felt like I needed to do that.
You swam better than all of us.
Yeah, I did. I still can. But I felt like I needed to do that. And yes, okay, I'm around a bunch of, good dudes. Like I wasn't around no bums. I wasn't around nobody that was this and that and the third. But I'm like, yo, I know I don't look like them.
I was the fastest.
I got a question for you, Chop. Do you think there's a difference between between being a perfectionist and having drive?
Oh, I think it's a slight. I think it's because drive, and perfectionist
He said perfectionist. That's why I asked.
drive. You have a destination. Perfection, there's no destination.
Okay, I got
That's
you.
a good
No,
point.
I asked that because
That's
you
a
was talking
good-
about being a perfectionist. Me, I live by drive.
Mm-hmm.
I see a target, I'm gonna get that target. I don't care how I get that target. It don't gotta be perfect, but there's a goal, I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah.
I don't care how I get to it. It's not perfection for me. So I live on goal oriented. Like if you ask Ashika, as long as she know me, it's like once I accomplish this, I'm working on. I'm always working on something else. It could be minor. It could be minor.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I'm Lynn from Girlfriend. I'm
Go for
always in
real.
school. I'm always trying
Yep.
to learn something. I'm always trying to do something. But I don't gotta be perfect, and I'm not perfect.
If you ever talk to me and you know, like, whatever I've accomplished or whatever things I've done in life, I never ask you like in a way of, damn, I did that shit, didn't I? I did. The first thing I say, like, what you think?
What can I do better?
What like what you did I do something wrong, or what you think? I don't know. I ask you on the end of like, what did I do bad? Because I want to know what I did bad.
But did you get there?
But
That's how I think about stuff. Did I get there?
But see,
'Cause
me looking at that, I used to operate like that, and it used to stress me out so bad, especially in my career, because I'm really the only one who looks like me within my industry where I am right now and where I was before. I was the only me that looked like me, right? So I always operated like that, but that was me operating in fear and not operating in faith, right? I always thought something was wrong. I always thought somebody was trying to come after me because I'm the only me that looks like me.
Yeah.
And that used to stress me out. And that's one piece of my stress I couldn't keep. With everything else I had going on, I couldn't hold on to that because that used to freak me out in a way where I'm literally waiting to get in trouble, and I would over exert myself trying to do everything. And now I'm working 12 and 13-hour days trying to get this stuff going. But I had to take a step back and look at my counterpoints who don't look like me, who don't even have to do a third of what I do. And I had to actually recognize, and that's something I recognized literally 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I sat back and was like, well, she ain't got to do it. But I also understand that because I look like me, I don't get that grace and that luxury. But I had to stop operating in fear, because operating in fear had me stressed and burning myself out.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And Chop, I don't mean to cut you off, but
You good.
thank you so much, because in being transparent, I think that I'm in that season that you just got out of 6 months ago. And your wife, I think if she is also being transparent, she will tell you that she can recognize and identify that in me. And I think that's a big reason as to why I was attracted to her, because she is a constant reminder of Janessa. You can only do so much at one given time.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to check off every box as if tomorrow is your last day?
And then she also says that she thinks the same exact way. She thinks that, and even if she can get it on the mic, she ain't gonna get on there. But if she thinks the exact same way, that she feels like she has to get this done, and because she feels like, she's leaving this out or she's leaving that out. That's the thing, and it's so important dealing with relationships, because you're not gonna get everything right. This chick that Travis is dating is not gonna get everything right.
She getting everything wrong right now, though.
She's but now, so that's a part. Hey, Van, I seen that, man. Hey, them legs. You remember my legs? My legs is fast as hell. You already know what time it is.
Look, he 2 feet taller. You sleep.
No, but you have to really think about it, like how it benefits you and how you come on. Like, you don't have to be mad at everything. You don't have to be upset at everything. Like, we've been friends since we were freaking 10, younger than that, 9, 10 years.
Dragon Ball Z shirts on.
Right. We've been friends.
Really?
My friends, like, I have friendships 30 years plus. And this is what I talk about all the time: managing relationships. Managing relationships. We are not always going to see eye to eye. We're not going to always agree. But at the end of the day, if I care about the relationship, I know where to give. I know where to take. I know where to be this or to be that. That's the thing that you have to understand in dealing with these relationships. Everybody just think you could just be like, fuck you, it's it, that's done. That's not how life works. Because you're going to be sitting there across that bridge looking like, why can't I get over? Because you done burnt it. You burnt it.
You need fellowship. Now, all fellowship ain't good fellowship. Sometimes you really just gotta say fuck it and leave them where they are. Sometimes you have to really just say, you know what, I love you, I forgive you, but you are not walking with me in this next season, and that's okay.
I say no.
But
They get cut off.
They can be cut off. I know for me, I like to extend a certain level of grace. Now, again, you're gonna hurt as much as you allow yourself to hurt in any situation, in any relationship. But I think giving ourselves grace, and I appreciate you so much for being transparent and saying that, because it's real easy to say you ain't gotta worry about it. You do though, especially when you no, you do, because when you look at it, right? Say for instance, I look at me. I'm in a position where I'm 35 years old. I make very good money in my job, right? I live in my soft life within my job. I have a very good director, and I'm making strides where I can be very successful, right? I'm making strides where I can do things with my money that I know my parents didn't do. I can make what my parents make on my own, right? And you don't want to take that for granted. And you want to make sure you show how good you are and how skillful you are. And you want to make sure you show them I'm worthy of this. Not realizing you've always been worthy. You do the work, you do the job.
That's what I was saying.
But at the same time, in your brain, my brain tells me, hey, sis, you probably need to stay 30 more minutes to get this done, because you don't want to wait till tomorrow, because you don't know what they're going to pile up on you. It's a double-edged sword, because when you're really good at your job,
you're thinking about they're going to pile up on you.
They're going to give you some more stuff.
Or because of who you are in the department that you are, what they're going to say about you.
Of course. See, I stopped caring what they say, because, I mean, at this point, you ain't got to like me. It is what it is. And it took me a long time to get there. You have to be comfortable enough. And for me, I can only speak for me. In my current position, this time last year, I was struggling, thriving financially. New position, new property, new role. Them people hated my guts for no other reason than me being capable of my job. Because I'm the only me that looks like me.
Can I ask you a question? I mean, you don't have to answer.
Look,
are you
talk
single?
to me.
She run a whole house.
Are you single?
I am single.
She run a whole house.
Why do you feel? Because I know you. I don't know you all the way. You know.
You know me enough.
I know you enough. Why do you feel like
I'm currently single?
Yes.
I've been single for a real long time. I gave it one good old college try last year after 6 years. And I realized that I get aggravated real fast.
She's not ready.
I get aggravated real fast. So until I know, it's one of those things where I tried another relationship. We weren't equally yoked financially, if I got to keep it funky. And it made it more difficult than I thought, right? I thought I would be okay making more than the man that I date. Because usually it's not really a problem. I don't do much nothing. I may never ask for a Gucci bag. You know what I will ask for, though? Some oysters. And they $30 a dozen. And I eat. So that's equal to a Gucci bag. And I realized being in that situation, we look at money differently, right? So I knew from that situation, I had to meet somebody who's somewhere up there with me, who won't question the decisions I made.
Right.
Talk to me.
What you gotta say, Juan?
So,
Juan say he buying no oysters.
come over to this mic. So, what's been said is that most men don't make what the women make nowadays, and black women are more educated than what we talking about. Black men, we ain't talking about white men.
Sure. Okay.
We talking about black men. I'm assuming that you date black.
Yeah, I have a phobia of pink peepees.
Gotcha.
Like a real life phobia.
So
I scream.
when you say equally yoked,
Financially,
how difficult do you then make that, a possibility for you to find someone if one right there financially, it's hard for you to respect the guy. Well, it seems like it's hard a lot of times when a woman makes more than a guy. especially our women, and I say that because when you see in the white culture, it's been made like regular that there's a stay-at-home dad.
Mhm.
It's a soccer
I know a
dad.
few.
But there you go.
I
Y'all
know a
must ain't
few.
see that
I
Kiki
know a
Palmer
big boss.
interview. Y'all
Big,
didn't see
big
that.
boss.
Y'all didn't see that
But
Kiki
if
Palmer
Ray Ray-
interview.
if Ray
I
Ray
got you.
got
I got.
a job, and Ray Ray stay at home, the whole neighborhood know that Ray Ray ain't got a job.
But see, here's the thing, and I can only speak for me.
Okay.
Most of the time, I don't talk to my neighbors, so ain't nobody gonna know. But because in that particular situation, no one knew.
I see you, Van.
What
I see you,
we-
Hicks. I'm finna get
No
in
one
on
knew
that.
what we had going on to the extent financially. It became an issue for us because he questioned my purchases. See, I am a lady of leisure. I guess you can call me that, right? So certain things I do not enjoy. Don't like washing clothes. I'll hire somebody to do it. I drop it off. I don't have time for it. So things like that, right? Even with me before I was in my current position, I was a chef. This particular person was like, yeah, well, my wife got to cook for me, 4 days a week. I was like, that is so amazing for your wife. He was like, but we dating. I was like, I hear you. But what I am telling you is, if you go to work and you work at 9 to 5, which is fine. I work a 7 to 7. Baby, you better get them pots.
So do you feel like because you financially outweigh him that you can't respect him as a man?
I've always respected him as a man. He didn't respect me making the money that I made because we didn't view expenses the same way. What he considered an expense, I consider a luxury.
Okay, hold on. Pause. I want to read this question because I know Janessa got a question that's coming up.
No, Van, that wasn't it, baby.
Right. You see the question, right? It
Nix can
says,
tell you why I'm single. I don't like people.
It sounds like she's
She's
single
she's
because
just not ready.
she's more focused on her employment. So you don't think that's
So
it?
I wasn't focused on my employment. So if I can give it to y'all about I'll give you 3 minutes of my life. I went to culinary school. Boom, I'm cooking, I'm chefing it up, right? In culinary school, I got hired in retail. I was making 6 figures at 22 years of age in retail. I said, you know what? We not cooking no more. We're going to sell these shoes. That worked out for me for about 6 years. Transition, I got pregnant. Met a man. He was making good money. I'm making good money. I get pregnant. The moment I get pregnant, I have to transition. I step out of my sales shoes, jump into some management shoes. My money declined a little bit, but my man is there, right? At that point, I take a huge step back, right? Take a step back. I'm home with my son, doing everything. The following year, I leave retail. Don't know what I'm going to do. I'm home for 6 months because I was able to stay home for 6 months. Not from my significant other because we were not together at that point. I was on my own. Stay home for 6 months. I worked 3 jobs for 2 years just trying to get back on my feet. I dated throughout all that time. Nick can tell you, I've always had a nigga. It was what it was. But at the same time, I pour into anyone that I date. Pour. And when I say pour, I will pour and it will piss my friends off. Because it's like, what is wrong with you? Me, I'm not going to say, oh, I ain't going to do nothing for a man, baby. I'm stupid.
But
I am stupid.
But that's most women. I'm a caterer.
When I tell you I'm stupid,
oh, I cook.
Let me tell you something. I'm coming home. Daddy, what you want for dinner?
I cook every 2 business days.
All these
I watch
women
every
from my
week.
homeboys?
You can ask Keith. Look, who's sitting right here?
When I say I'm
not
stupid,
who Keith got out the house.
I mean, I'm stupid in the view
food.
of other people.
I don't cook no
right?
pasta.
I'm ignorant with my man. I am a caterer to the 10th degree.
Because we don't see this.
No, but we sitting on a podcast at the same time. Like I said, I have boundaries.
But wait, let me finish. Let me finish with this question.
Go ahead.
So at no point was I focused on my employment because it was by the grace of God I even got hired for my particular hotel because I was looking for a 3rd job. Because I had 2 jobs. I wasn't being assisted financially. I had to get it how I live. I got hired as a supervisor when I applied to be an overnight regular person. So got that job and I worked my way through. Through that time, I have dated. I've talked to certain people. I've had significant relationships throughout the years. However, I also learned enough about myself to know, I've been in an abusive relationship before. If I see a sign, I'm out. You ain't got to show me but once. I'm not going to argue. I'm going to collect my belongings. I ain't even going to say nothing. You know what, baby?
You right. You right.
Right? So it wasn't about me focusing on my employment. Most of the time, most people who meet me, oh, well, she could real mean. Baby, you don't know me. You have no idea who I am. I get that in the relationship world and in my professional world. Oh my God, Ashika, you just look so mean. You look so unapproachable.
You look, but they always come to you.
Yeah, but you
I
at
get
my
all the
door.
time.
You at my door.
I get it
Most
all
of
the
the
time,
time, I'm single. I'm not approached as much as you. I'm not approached ever. Look here, I got some real fine friends, and this is not to be self-deprecating. I'm the fat friend.
Don't do that.
All my friends fine as fuck.
Listen, when we go to
You hear me?
Caribbean parties, them niggas ain't looking at my skinny ass. They looking at.
Shut up.
She
What
look
I'm
like
saying
she smell
is,
like gravy.
I-
Everything. Girl, no,
in-
worry about me.
within my group of friends, I'm the fat. I'm not the fat ugly friend. Now, don't get me wrong. Face card always been facing.
Very much so.
But I am the fat friend. I've always recognized that. I am not approached ever. I smile intentionally in my personal life and my professional life to counteract you
What
thinking I'm
you-
not
right,
approachable.
right.
I will smile on purpose, right? And still get told I'm not approachable. I'm single because niggas don't be checking for me. Niggas want my cookies.
They want the cookies.
They want my
not the
cookies.
She
chocolate
said what she
chip.
said.
Hold on. 'Cause I want to get Nessa in here.
They want
you
my
had a
cookies.
question. You remember your question, right? I want to get your question in there. Go ahead.
So this is going to be for the men. And ladies, I'm going to challenge us since they like to say we don't listen and they think that we should shut the fuck up.
Anything, girl.
You shut up.
Let's allow them to answer.
Don't you say a
Mark
word.
better talk though.
Shut up.
Men, why do you feel as though, I'm not saying it's you all directly, but why do you think so many men tie their self-worth to their financial standing?
Because our women do.
I can't hear. I didn't hear it.
Shondo.
Because
I
our
didn't hear
women
it.
do.
Shoulda bought a Honda.
Anytime our women want to disrespect the men, what they say? You're
Broke ass nigga.
I've never said those words.
I've never said
You're broke ass.
I have, and
Every
being
time.
angry.
So
Not that it was true, but in the moment I
Ooh,
said
what
it.
sign you is?
So what happens is.
I'm a Gemini, a June one.
It's two time for
what
the,
happens
I
is
married one of those.
two time for us.
we switch our
Toxic
focus
people.
to the finances. Because, okay, y'all keep calling us broke. Got you. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to shift everything I got to getting my finances right. And then and guess
Takes
what?
the focus off of you.
Because now, exactly. So now what I'm going to do, I seen fat, bald, greasy, ugly, the worst looking nigga in the world and got a bad bitch. So now I ain't even focused on you right now. I'm going to go get that bag first. And guess what? I can come back and get a 10-year version, younger version of you. You know, so
Ooh,
we
that's
focus-
deep.
we
That's
focus-
deep.
We focus on that because that's what y'all used to
That's
tear us
deep.
down.
Janessa, did he answer
I ain't gonna get you right now. I'm gonna get your little sister.
that?
I'm gonna get the
Ooh.
younger you. You know, because you keep trying me with this money, I'm gonna go get that money, come back, and do what I gotta do.
But that goes back to something that we were talking about earlier. You don't think that what you just said is money being the pacifier for your ego? Oh, well, I can get 10 years younger than you. Okay, but if you didn't have that money, do you think you'd still be in that position? Or are you compensating for your ego?
No, it's the same as what she said. Because guess what, men, we look for the looks in women. She said that she don't get the looks because she don't get the attention of man because of looks. Guess what, as men, y'all look for the money. So I can go stand next to the
Right. You don't get the attention
And
because
guess
you ain't
what?
got
I
the money.
That attention because buddy over there got 2 icy chains on, got the Benz keys in his hands. Guess what? You gonna jump over me? I can actually own the Benz dealership, but you don't know that because you just see what he got in his hand. So you go and ignore me just like you get ignored because I ain't got the money. Or
That's a valid point.
Yes and no, but sure.
That's
Sure.
a valid. That's
Sure.
a
I
valid
said
point.
I was gonna say men could always get the younger girl because she don't know no better.
Exactly.
No.
This is-
No.
I mean,
No. When we raise
My
our
thing is,
when we raise
seasoned
our
men say
value,
it all the time.
when we raise our value, we raise our options.
but you know what? It's also, I think, operating within the circle of what you actually are looking for would save a lot of this. Because I'm not looking for the nigga with the chain. Sir, you got a
I've
chain.
never
What's
been
your credit
hard.
score?
So your man ain't that.
And half the time nowadays, it's
Oh, they
fake.
at the club.
Come on.
Oh, I was gonna say my nigga at the club with me.
With her. My thing is, it's not about being at the library. We could be outside. I want my man to be my best friend. We need to be able to
That's
play
how we
Uno,
live.
Phase 10, go juking and moving. My thing is, my father and I are like this. My father's married.
Yes.
My father and I are tight. When I tell you homeboys, football games, we at the basketball game, we outside. You ain't got to be at the library.
And
Is your
all that.
business taken care of, right?
Yeah.
I'm not, It's not about getting the nerdy guy. It's not about getting the fat guy. Because let me tell you something. I had a fat nigga try me like I was ugly.
Hey, nah, that dude.
that be the craziest thing when you give somebody a shot and they play
I'm
you.
not even into you. You look like a leprechaun, and you're sitting here playing in my face.
Y'all sound like
Sir.
Travis, whatever his name is.
Sir.
Y'all remember
But the
that.
thing is, I think a lot of the times, and this is for men and women, I think the internet and social media have us so gassed up. When honestly and truly, I just think all the freaks at church. But I digress.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
what I'm
I
saying
grew up in
is,
church.
I think
Were you
we
a
need
PK?
to operate within the
Were you a PK?
circles of
No.
what we actually want. For me, it can be operating
Kinda
where I'm
so.
going out of town to business conferences within the hotel industry. Because I'm in the hotel industry. So if I find somebody in the hotel industry, I know how much you make.
No, but I don't like
And
that.
I know you'll understand what I do for a
Okay.
living.
I like that because
Look what you just did.
You want
Look what you
not.
just did. You went
So
back to
it's
money.
like, what do you bring into the table?
But that's the
and I
thing.
hate that with women. I
Yeah.
hate that with women. You want a 6-figure,
Of
6-inch
course.
sink. What do you got?
Nikita,
You ain't finished high school. You got
agreed.
2 kids. I'm not
But
about
you know what?
I ain't got no kids, so I'm gonna talk about it.
But you
Let's
know
talk
what's
about it.
missing?
Like,
You know what's the problem? Because there are bitches who don't have it who are getting these niggas.
No,
The
but
hoes are winning.
I ain't said it was smart
The
now.
hoes are winning.
No.
I
Nikita.
said it was
Okay,
smart.
I
but
was
so-
okay
Like that
with
one
it.
song
but look,
Jasmine
okay.
Sullivan has,
These
"Girl Like
hoes
Me"
be
or something.
winning.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. If I
Yeah,
was
I
not
love that song,
raised
by the
in
way.
church and didn't care,
No.
I'd be selling coochie.
No.
I
Okay.
swear to
Oh
God.
no, don't
Right.
say
I
that.
would.
Okay,
I would. But I get up and I go to work.
If it weren't for your father's last name,
it
having
wasn't.
morals.
If
Look,
it wasn't,
pride. Look,
I
pride
think
is
about
holding
it
me
every
back.
Yes.
I think about it every day.
Coupons.
If I
In this
was
economy?
not if I was not a person that was cared for by my father, I wouldn't get up to go to work every day.
Shout
I would
out to my
sell
dad.
coochie
You
twice
gotta
a
be
week.
cared by your father.
No, but that's
I
good.
have-
Because
That's
you
good.
don't have to be equally
I-
yoked. Because at this point in age, the nigga with the chains, the niggas who got it, they not going for the ones who are educated. You know why? Because we too mouthy.
They
We
high
rap
rent.
too
We're
much.
too
They high
opinionated.
We gonna get the
Jay.
They
ones
high
who shut
rent.
the
I'm
fuck
not going
up.
to jail. I'm not
We
going
gonna
to
get the
the
ones who
feds.
shut the fuck
Grab the
up.
mic.
Because the
Hold
ones
on,
who
hold
shut
on.
the fuck up don't have to go to high school.
And I ain't dealing
They
with
don't have to go
abuse.
to work.
I'm not dealing with verbal or physical or
work.
anything.
Why
You
does
got
that have to be that? But look, okay.
No, because it's more than one way to get fucked
So,
up.
but look, look.
The
and
feds could come knock to your door. He could knock your teeth out. It's two options.
Okay.
And I want
For the
Jay
money, I'm not doing it.
I want
I'm
Jay
sorry.
I want Jay to follow me
You
on
just described the Colombian drug lord.
No,
Hold
I
on,
lived
hold on.
a rough childhood. I done been in foster care. I done did it all. My mom was on drugs. You know, I see my mom when I go home and they drive like, oh look your mom. She just on the street. Like, no, it's the truth.
I know it's
But
not.
no,
they
because that's
gotta
why
know.
she thinks
I
so
know.
hardcore,
I
though,
understand.
No,
like
they
that.
gotta know everybody not having
They
a hot
know.
girl summer.
Yeah.
So I live in fear. So I don't deal with addiction.
Yeah.
If you raise, I don't. You see how I am right now? I don't ask any of the niggas I ever fuck with. Even if there was just a nigga that wasn't your official. I don't yell. I don't talk back. I shut down. If any nigga raise their voice at me, I shut down. I shut down. I don't. My boundaries are big.
But
So yeah, I don't
but-
all that
but-
scammer shit. Feds ain't finna come knock on my door. They're not finna body slam me and ask. No, none of that. No bitch finna
But
come.
scamming
No.
isn't the only way that a man
Hold on,
is
hold
successful.
on.
Friends,
Something to
family.
what somebody said on there, and I want Jay to follow behind.
Go ahead, Jay.
Itching guy.
No, because I
Feel
like
his chest.
what
He don't know
separates
what to do.
separates if a woman is looking to a man for finances and a man is looking to a woman for beauty and looks. What separates that? Because if I can afford what I want to look what it is, why can't I have it?
So they're evenly yoked because it's all based on superficiality.
That's so Batman and
Okay.
ass.
So
Okay,
in that
so-
case,
That's
you
what
are
Batman.
evenly
They
yoked.
requested.
Jay, grab the mic, Jay.
Jay,
Until you're
Hey,
not.
before-
no,
we-
not Jay. You need to get Batman.
You are absolutely
Batman,
need
Batman,
Batman.
Batman.
We need Jay
Until
Twan.
you're not.
We need Batman. Come on,
Batman.
Batman.
They-
Answer the question.
They
Not Jay
asking for
Twan.
Batman. They don't want J20, they want
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Come on, Bat.
All right, so y'all repeat after me. Well, y'all answer this. God is good.
All the time.
That's my answer right now.
To the whole nigga.
You didn't do the other half.
That's
You
why
don't
I
get-
ain't say
Right.
nothing. You supposed to not say nothing.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm all
Can we
for it.
go back? Let's go back a little bit, right?
Come back.
Like because I've been quiet for a while, just
Okay.
listening.
Seen that.
Yeah, I was really asking the question so you can
Motherfucking
answer it
national
first.
night.
Like,
Let's go.
like, God damn it! I swear to God, we're doing it. Fuck.
I ain't never seen you
Fuck.
stressed. What happened?
What's wrong, Mr. Bat?
Like, like, to be honest,
You said we're doing
I know people that's watching, they like, damn, Bat ain't said a fuck ass thing yet.
Man,
Because y'all motherfuckers lost in the sauce. Like a motherfucker. Like,
it's more than one word.
okay, so, like I said, let's go back. Where does a man's value stem from? What creates a man's value?
His words.
Let's ask you first.
Oh.
It depends.
Being raised by my father, I think him being a man of his word.
Well, let's not use your father.
Okay.
Tell me
But that's what
From
you're
your-
on.
What I said, it depends.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But if that's my foundation, and if that's
the fuck up.
God damn it!
God. Shit.
He asked the question. He don't want no answer.
I didn't ask
You
you.
said you asked a
don't
question in
y'all
general.
start again.
Gen
Don't be
Pop.
both of y'all.
Online, sitting here, you didn't look at nobody. You didn't
All right,
say.
let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
God
Get
is
it.
good.
Go ahead. It's on.
God
it's
is
on-
good.
All the
it's not
time.
And
your turn no
all the
more.
time.
It's on her.
God is good.
And shut up, ma'am.
Can you repeat the question?
Y'all done fucked me up and made me forget.
Because you
How
gonna
do,
say
excuse
some
me.
bullshit.
You know what? I listened. So he asked, "How do you value a man?"
You can.
No, that's not what I asked.
What you said?
The question was, how does a man create his value?
What?
How does a man create his value? As you said.
Or what do you value in a man? I think that's
No.
how you. Or
No.
How does a man create his value? What creates a man's value?
Him.
For me, based off of being raised by a man, and that being my first example, you being a man of your word.
Okay,
she
so
said
that's
no
your answer.
business.
A man of your word.
Yes.
Okay. What creates a man's value?
To me
Yeah.
specifically,
Mhm.
how he values himself,
Okay.
how he sees himself. Who are you?
Okay.
I agree with her.
So you okay? So how you value himself? So if that man was a bum, but he valued himself as a billionaire, would you date him?
No, I don't have to date you because
Okay.
you value yourself.
What was your answer again?
From my dad being a man of your word.
Okay. So in reality, a man's value comes from what he created.
Yeah.
Y'all understand what I mean when I say
Yeah,
that?
mentally, yeah.
Yes.
No. We're not
don't.
talking about mentally.
I don't
Because I just
understand.
asked her if that man was mentally a billionaire, but he was a bum, would you date him? She said no. So
But-
that's false. So
But that's a lie.
A man
You said
creates.
mentally.
Let me cook. A man creates his value from what he creates.
Burning.
What he creates, you have to see his value, right? A man has to be able to create an infrastructure for that relationship, right? So it has to be what?
Yeah.
Financially.
Mm-hmm.
A man's value comes from his social status,
Mhm.
from what he can give you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or wrong?
Wrong.
You
Are
said
you a
wrong.
man?
You gave
No,
the
no.
option.
Please.
Sugar said you right.
You just want
You gave the option right or wrong.
No.
You
No.
You're doing
No.
that in bad faith. You're not
I'm
listening.
not. I promise you. I promise you.
Okay, so
'Cause you
hold on,
said
wait a
I
I'm
minute.
going against what
Time
you
out.
said.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him
Wait,
finish.
go ahead,
Let him
go ahead.
finish. Let him cook. He just turned the first eye on. He got the burner and the
Remember,
woman.
we don't know how to listen.
Yeah, let him cook.
So
let
let's
him
challenge
cook.
it.
Let him cook.
Chop, I understand the eye on, but it's high right now.
Yeah, let him cook.
Let it
Let him cook.
simmer.
He ain't said nothing for about 5-10 minutes, and that's
Cause
unusual
You
for
were
him.
at his match
Let him
tonight.
cook. Let him cook.
I
Go
didn't
ahead,
be
baby.
my match. I'm
That
actually
man-
just listening to a bunch
That
of
man-
stupidity.
Go ahead,
Fine.
baby.
I'm just choosing not to speak.
Go ahead, love.
I never seen
Go
this.
ahead, Jay.
So yeah, because this is
But
going to
I'd
be a
like
whole.
for you to speak because it's not to say that I can't learn anything from you, even if we
No,
have
definitely.
a differing opinion.
Right.
Definitely.
So a man has to have something for you to find him interesting, right? Like for you to take that man serious, he have to have a direction, a goal, and be able to build something for you to find him interesting, right or wrong?
Correct.
Right. Do you all say the same?
I do not.
So what? No, don't worry
So
about
okay, but wait.
Please.
So
I do
Please.
not.
we're
But
because
no.
we getting ready to land the plane. We getting ready to land the plane.
It's gonna be
We're-
quick, Chop.
all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So wait, you said a man with something about his value. Come on.
If you say something, that means you wasn't.
Oh no. So I was gonna say you said create with his value, whatever. So
Right.
my thing is, y'all know the story of Versace, right?
Yeah.
No,
Who-
fill me in.
So who killed Versace? The mansion, yeah. Who killed him?
The bum boyfriend.
Okay, but did Versace know he was a bum? That
No.
man put on a suit. He got with the right circle. He had nothing to his name. He was a nobody. He was a facade. That's how he got in those circles with those people. So you could sit here and tell me anything, but everybody who's sitting here has been lied to before, has been finessed before, has been swindled before. So what are you telling me right now?
So, but you still, this is the thing where I think Jay was where he's going with.
Don't speak for him, let him
no,
speak.
No, I mean, because
Let him speak.
I
Let him
agree
cook.
with him. I agree with him in certain respects. I agree with him as if certain people would not look at people if they did not have the infrastructure to stand on. So meaning you ain't no bum niggas in none of y'all inboxes. I mean, well, that I'm what I should
They
say
had the
not-
most audacity.
Yeah, they in
I
their
should
inbox.
say, I mean, they in your inboxes.
They not dealing
Y'all
with
not
it.
communicating with no bum niggas.
But two
But see-
jeans is very persistent.
But you have to also
That's the same reason.
Not
That's the
Sorry.
same reason. That's the same reason why
Sorry.
Travis. That's the same reason why we having this conversation right now, because this young lady is in. She got Travis.
Mhm.
She got him.
She waiting them
You don't
5
think
years.
this nigga been playing football since Optimus?
Yeah, but that happens with a
No.
lot of people.
It happens with a lot of people, but when people see it, like I see how my son moves. Like my son is 12. He's almost my size. I ain't had to pay for him to play football in I don't know how long.
True.
You think that other people don't see that?
Of course they do.
And
but
they're not
however,
watching it? And they not sitting there trying to, oh, yeah. Oh, I see he's doing this, or I see he's doing that. It's the same thing. Like, you got to understand how we look at, like, how women think, oh, yeah, he just want her because she's sexy. Yeah, why wouldn't I not? If I can afford it.
It's the same reason why you want the man with the Benz. We get judged.
I didn't ask for the man with the bands.
I never
The man
did
with the
a
bands
thing with a
asked for me.
Because who knows if he's 3 car payments behind.
But see, here's the thing, right? And this is why when he talked about value, right? We have to be honest. It's all, oh yeah, we want somebody with a plan, and no, we don't. Not initially. No one ever wants somebody with a plan.
How could you not?
Yes, here's my
I
thing.
can't
When
agree
you
with
meet,
that.
when you meet
I'm
somebody,
That's
let's be
true.
honest. We out and about. Let's think about this. We are thinking from an adult standpoint. We are thinking from a cultivated standpoint. Let's think from the very visceral, base, animalistic. You look at the nigga because he's fine as fuck. You are going to figure out what he is about.
You may let him smash.
Exactly.
You may
You
conversate
might.
with him,
You
but
might.
you're not gonna deal with that nigga.
There are a lot
Some
of people
bitches
who are
will.
in relationships with niggas just like that. My mama met my daddy in the club. Because you meet them
Ain't
on
nothing
a
wrong with the
very
club.
base level. We have to be honest with ourselves. All this, oh, I want a man with goals. It's nice. You know what? I need my man to be cool with God. Let's start there. All this value in, oh, I have to make sure I accumulate this. Most of the time, if you get you a man who accumulates wealth, he is a busy man.
Okay, so you know what, Chop? What I was getting at with that, what a man has to create his value. Point blank, period. We
I
have
would
to
like to think you should create your own
God
value.
damn it.
You cut me off and I can't cut you off, baby.
You've been cutting me off all night.
Well, you should be used to it while we talk about it.
Like I was saying though, a man has to create his value, bro. The
Yeah.
only way we're
That's
going
what
to
you
be
started.
recognized by women is if we have something to
I
attract
agree
them.
with that. Do you think that's true?
Repeat that again.
The only way that we are recognized by women is we have something to attract you.
Why do we think lions have big
But why does it
names?
have to be the money that attracts
I'm
them?
not saying I
That's
didn't say
the-
money.
But
I
that's
never
people
said
in
any.
general.
But you want to smell good. You want to look nice. You want to do
But
all
you
these
can't-
things.
Okay, so all of that stuff comes in.
You have to get
So,
the
this
superficial
is
shit
thing.
out the way. That's how you. That's where
This
attraction
is the thing.
lies.
You have to
Senses.
understand. You have to understand. You may not be that. Like sometimes I even like I don't even feel. I like jewelry or some things, but I know that's not really me. At the same time, I do like jewelry. I like the way it looks, and I'll buy something sometimes, and I'm just like, that's just too much. I need to just wear something else or whatever. That's just how I think because I know me deep down inside. Now, at the end of the day, am I a money maker? Am I a grinder? Yes, that's me all day. But I don't. I'm not. You know, I don't feel like I need to buy the biggest house on the hill, or I don't feel like I need to do all this extra stuff. But at the same time, does that is that an ingredient for my actual substance?
Chop,
Yes, it is.
But it
why,
also
why are we
depends.
making this? Why are we making this so small frame when I'm making it a vague statement of a man has to build something? I'm not saying that he has to have a gold chain. I'm not saying he has to have a BMW or something like that. I'm just saying a man has to create his value.
Yeah.
Why are we making this so one dimensional?
Because when I see you out, I don't care what you got at home at this particular moment. It's not what I'm looking at. I'm not asking for your credit score. I'm not asking for your net worth.
Okay, but then when
Honestly
you
and
get
truly,
past
if you
that,
got a chain on, I guarantee you, if you line two niggas up right now and put them side by side, and I see a nigga with, let's say, some red 11s. He got red 11s on. Let's say he got a nice little chain on. I guarantee you, I'm going with the nigga with the Breitling on his wrist.
Can we have
not the nigga with the chain?
a high IQ conversation?
In
I'm
regards
not
to?
talking about anything in material. I'm saying he have to create his value.
But that only matters if you decide to pursue that person. Your value means shit to me if I
I'm
don't
not
want
talking
you.
about you. Why are you making this about you when I'm talking in general?
I am speaking in general. You're asking because
shit.
I said you think I'm talking about you specifically.
I'm
You've
not
already
talking
determined
about me.
this.
I'm
He ain't
saying
him.
you're pointing in the direction. I'm speaking about in
Okay,
general about men.
I'm gonna look on this side.
A man have to create his value.
Agreed, but your value means nothing to me if I meet you on the street.
I see why you
means
sing.
nothing.
I
mean, that's cool. It's
no,
okay.
but no. So
I don't take offense to that. It's okay.
The thing is, like, where people they don't. This is the most thing. This is the thing. One of the most things that I learned about when I went through corrections is and not through the. I didn't serve time. I was an officer. But I learned interpersonal skills and I learned communication. Um, I learned how to actually listen to people. Sometimes we are always in such in essence to be right or be heard that we don't hear.
Yes.
Oftentimes
We don't listen to understand. We listen to respond.
we listen to response because I want a rebuttal. Now, now, and it's also delivery. Nobody wants
Very important.
Nobody wants an upside down pizza. If I order my pizza, I prefer you to hand it to me right side up and it is presentable. So you can have the same pizza that I ordered, but if you delivering it to me the wrong way, I'm not gonna receive it. And that's the part that we miss a lot of times because we're saying the same thing. And I think that's what keeps the blinders on. Like, you know, I think that's what keeps us in a mindset where we're not hearing anything. Because to be honest, you and Jay Twan sound mostly alike in your ideologies. You sound mostly alike in what y'all saying. But because you don't like his delivery, he don't like your delivery. So fuck you and fuck you. That's what's happening.
That's where the personal comes into play. That's
Right.
when we're speaking generally, but because I'm looking in that direction, why are you talking about me? We've already established, because I'm a person that likes to base things off of facts, right? We've already established that we wouldn't roll in the same circles as far as dating is concerned, correct?
But do you think he had anything that you can take from this conversation that you can use in your life?
Yes, I take the fact that for him, he believes that a man's value is based on what he can do. And for me, I think that's dangerous rhetoric because you are not basing your value on you as a person. You're basing it on things, on tangibles. Intangibles are the things that you can't buy. I'd rather you have the intangibles of being a protector.
Now, I'm going to say this, and you're going to probably take it a different way. What is a farmer with no crops?
A farmer.
But if he doesn't have any crops,
does he not have seeds to build crops? You don't know what he has. So based on he doesn't have crops right now. So at some point when you're building,
when you go to the grocery store and to pick up your vegetables, or are you looking for seeds or are you looking for produce?
It depends. When you're building, if this is an analogy or are we doing literal?
We're doing an analogy.
An analogy, right? So if we're looking at the analogy of a person. Based on our logic, we want to be able to build with somebody. You can't build that without a seed, baby. You can go to the person, they can have their own shit, but you're gonna have a different version of that person versus a person you dig that hole, you put that seed in, you water that seed together.
Okay.
If I got my own plant, it's different. That's why
let me take it to another level. And I'm just because I invest or whatever, and I hear people, they always have, oh, I got this, or I'm doing this, or I'm finna do this, and I say, well, what's your numbers look like? What's your profit line? What's your margin? What's your loss? I don't give a damn about what you tell me. I want to see.
But that's only applicable to us because right now, today, Elon Musk bought Twitter with Tesla shares that he currently does not have in his hand. So we have to also understand the playing field.
He couldn't have bought it if he didn't have it, though.
But he did because he sold them. He was like, listen, he has them, and he used it to buy it, but he's not taxed on them because he doesn't have them. We have to understand where we stand in this platform as Black people, right? You have to understand where you stand and how somehow, some way, we have to get on the same playing field. We're not on the same playing field because we're too busy arguing about what's unimportant, right? So when you look at shares and buying things, it's different based on your level because there are a lot of people who own several shares of several shares of product and tech that don't pay taxes on it, but it's theirs. But because us, where we at, we have to know we need actual numbers for us.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, and that's the same thing he's saying. Jay is saying that, yo, you want to see something from us. You're looking for something, and that's what most people are doing. You would be a fool if Janessa had 2 or 3 kids and she is, conversating with me, we're talking on a relationship, we thinking about doing this and that and the third, and I don't have the means to take care of her and her 2 to 3 kids. Why is she talking to me?
But see, that's her choice to talk to, and I think that's you made the point that was in my head. He says we have to have something of value. I'm saying I don't even need all of that. I need this. You're telling me what I need after I specifically told you what I need. I am telling you I need A. You are telling me what I need to have B. Hey, baby, I need you to have A. Well, nah. Because the world telling me I need to have B. Ashika is telling you I need you to have A. But you don't see A. You only see the fact that you think you need to have B.
He can only answer from a man's point of view and in a general man's point of view. Any man that takes that answer from you and says I'm okay with it,
crazy as hell,
is not a man.
It's a bitch ass nigga.
He's not a man. Any man that takes that response from you and said, "Oh, you got it." Okay.
I didn't say I got it. No. I never said I got it.
Let me say something.
That's the part we missed. I never said I got it. What I'm saying is you think you need all of these things, right?
But I never said that.
You are saying I need all of these things. That's like me saying.
No, he said he just needs to be valued.
Let me apply it to having a vagina, right? Let me apply it to me. As a woman, I feel I need to have degrees. I need to have money. I gotta bring shit to the table. Most men, I don't need a woman with degrees. Does that mean I'll take my ass to college? No. So it's the same thing. That's why I said, let me apply it to me. As a woman, I know I need to be able to get it on my own because sometimes I may not have that help, right? So I go to work. I get a good career. I make good money. Oh, but that's why you single. I gotta be a boss. Trust me, I would rather be a DEPENDENT. I don't want to be independent. Where is my man, baby? I want to be soft. I don't choose this life.
Yes, you do.
Trust me, I don't choose this life.
So how don't you choose that life? You are in control of your own demise.
But what demise?
Any demise, any failure that you have, you're in control of that failure that you created, right?
But I'm not looking at.
You're in control of being prosperous, right?
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you be in control of your failures?
Of course, you'll be in control of your
So
failure.
that's
But
demise.
what I'm looking
So-
at right now, this is not my failure. My success is
I'm
not my failure.
Holy shit.
This is why I said applying it to me. You saying a man saying he needs to have value.
But do you
He
want?
needs to
Do
have
you,
things.
can I ask you? Do you want to be married?
Absolutely.
So, what are you applying to that process?
Nothing at this current moment.
That's what he's saying.
He did not say that.
But he didn't say it the way
God
I
damn
said
it.
it.
He didn't say it at all.
Say it the way I said it.
He didn't say it at all. At no point was I ever the questioning this. Ever. Not one.
So what? So this is the thing. What based off of your narrative and what you were saying, he's saying that you're ultimately the reason why you're not getting to the point that you want to be at. Now this is the thing. You can be strong minded. There's nothing wrong with being strong minded. I'm married to a Gemini. I see 1, 2, 3.
I'm a Libra. I'm just an
Oh, okay. Oh, you like Bob?
I'm
Oh,
there
okay.
with them.
Okay.
Gang, gang.
So I'm married to a Gemini. I know she's headstrong like a mother.
Can I ask her a question?
Yeah.
The last successful guy that you dealt with, what did he do for a living?
He was a chef.
It was his restaurant?
No, it wasn't
Okay,
his
so-
restaurant. He was a chef.
So chain.
No, it was a standalone,
Standalone. So probably about $70,000 to $80,000 a year.
roughly.
Okay. So when I ask that question, I'm asking, all right, so the guys that make 6 figures and up, have you ever dealt with any one of those guys? Never.
No.
Okay. I hate to do this. But okay, so I'm a different type of nigga.
Sure.
Totally different type of nigga. Right? The guys that I affiliate with, that I bump shoulders and rub shoulders with, they think like me. And the way that you speak, they would never approach you.
Don't do this.
I'm being dead ass.
I'm not saying this on this podcast. I'm not. Don't do that.
And it's only because
Don't do that.
how you have a masculine aura.
Sir, please don't do this. I'm not doing that to him today. We're not doing this today.
To me, all right.
So for men in this situation, Jay, I'm speaking to you specifically. Do you think that in a lot of cases it's the credentials that women have, or do you think it's strictly the mindset that turns them off? Or do you think
Well,
the mindset is a result of the credentials?
Most guys that are in a elevated place, they don't care about the credentials.
Right.
At all. Not one bit. We don't give a fuck about your degrees. We don't care about how much money you make. We don't care about any of that shit. We don't care about how long it took for you to get to this place, to this Fortune 500 company. We don't give a fuck about any of that.
Okay.
We care about the way you treat me, the way you carry yourself, and do you have respect?
But you don't think a person that has respect and have credentials, you don't think a person that has the credentials can carry themselves with respect?
I never said that.
If I have to do my thesis statement for my PhD, you don't think I had to stand before professors and hold myself a certain way?
The women that come with those type of accolades, come. Thank you.
Lose themselves to what, baby?
There you go.
That's
There
not
you
true.
go.
Somebody just said the same
There
thing.
you go.
I don't agree with that.
We don't hunt. Men are hunters.
I disagree with that simply because the most successful people are learners. We learn every day.
I will give you. I will give
we are
you.
the learners. That's how I got here, by learning. As a black woman, I can't step on shit. I ain't got it. Because there's a man, black or white, and a woman with a pink pussy that will stop me. So I have those 3 things against me. Who I'm going to bulk up on when I'm the first one to get fired? I have to be approachable. I have to be a learner. I have to be malleable. So it doesn't make sense. I have to be submissive to be successful.
In that job, though. But what about in a relationship? We're not talking about it's not easy.
It's easy.
No, we're talking about in a relationship.
If you knew how to lead, it's easy to submit.
When I tell you it is easy to be submissive, and we've had this talk before, as a person in general, it is so easy to be submissive, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's sexually. It is easy because you don't have to think.
No, I won't say that because it's not. Even as a man, sometimes, and my wife liked to say this, And she says it often after I do some shit and fuck up, and she be like, "I told you, listen to your wife. Listen to your wife." She says this. Now I understand the concept of that, but also I understand the concept of me being a man and me setting forth. So if you're coming, the way you are is the way you are. Oh, it's probably some getting out here. But the way you are is the way you are. You know what I'm saying? So if you conduct yourself, and I'm not saying, because I know you're a sweetheart. At the same time, I know you like, you know, you and Nick, y'all rough around the edges. She rough. I like her. I told her, I mean, I love her. We had a conversation. She was like going in. She was like, I apologize. If I was like, no, I like it. I like it. I like real. I like being real. At the same time, it's also the fact that she said, I apologize because I respect you. I respect you. And that's most of the time what men are looking for. So a lot of times why black women are single because they don't know how to shut the fuck up. Now, I'm gonna let you chime in.
Are we tag teaming or are we going separate?
I had a question in regards to that because I want to make sure
I'm gonna let you have
we're
it.
approaching this in the right
No,
way.
now I'm approaching. I'm being funny. I'm being funny off of Jay.
I get it. I get it.
I'm being
100%.
funny off of
Because
Jay.
I think when we speak about submission, right? And
We assume it's always the woman.
exactly.
No,
we
I just said I had to be submissive too.
we speak about submission.
I didn't hear that.
Right.
I didn't
Going
hear
back
that.
to my original thought, the best and most effective leaders are servant leaders. You have to be at a place of submission to be a servant leader because you have to trust. The problem that I see, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, the issue is men want you to be submissive and follow their lead right away. Here's the problem. I have spent enough time being led astray. Why should I let your ass?
That's your fault.
And that's fine. Now what?
But that's up to who you
It's okay.
choose.
Agreed. That's
So,
all fine and
can't say
good.
that.
That
your
is
fault.
all fine and good.
That's
You
your
chose
fault.
that nigga.
Life
yo.
lessons. But it's the same thing with
So
women.
you can't base
It's the
that on
same thing with women. Women can't shut
But
the
no,
fuck
you
up.
can hold men accountable at some
You
point
can.
because you can say, "Ooh, I can identify in her," and this is one of the questions that you and I were going through. So I'm going to ask it. Sometimes, and I'm a perfect example, and you as well, having a father in your life, Ashika. There are certain things about women that you will identify that you will say, I'm not touching that. I'm not going there. Because I know that she has boundaries. I know that she has sense. And even if she doesn't have the answer, she has someone in her corner, specifically a man, who can guide her and rear her.
Yeah.
Sometimes men take advantage of those women who don't have those examples.
True.
And because of that, that is how we can be led astray.
True.
But I'm not saying that I'm women who do have fathers or a father figure.
So you're saying women are easy to be manipulated?
They can be, yes.
They can be, or that's what you're saying?
I'm saying I think that women can be
Manipulated.
Yes. If
Okay.
you're not aware, anybody, if you're not aware.
So let's take it a
You don't-
step further. So those women that be in relationships that's abusive, right? That man started beating your ass a year into their relationship, but you stayed an additional 3 years.
At that point,
Who's
that
that for?
becomes on you. Because as an adult, if you have you were able to identify
So why is it that women intuition only work for when a man's cheating and not when I detect a man is and not shit ain't?
You said, why does a woman's intuition only work
when a man is cheating, but not when that man ain't shit?
I think perhaps that is case by case.
That's fair.
No, that's not.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think it's fair because the woman's intuition kicks in and is always correct, and there's no deviating from that response when a man is cheating. But when that man ain't shit, why wasn't that intuition focused on in the beginning of the relationship?
Yeah, I get what
because
you're
a
saying.
lot of times we get caught up in, and this is where
Car
the conversation
salesmen.
diverts.
So that's where accountability comes in. And how about you just take accountability and say, you know what, I fucked up and chose the wrong nigga.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I can say that from experience and witnessing it with women in my family who are
Talk
not
to the
even
mic.
just women in my family, women in general who, to our point, this entire conversation, you're losing yourself because you're consistently choosing the same type of guy in a different body, but you're expecting different results. That's insanity.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
It's diabolical.
Yeah. I
Okay?
agree.
But the point that I'm making is, and I think you were going back to taking the accountability. Ashika, feel free to chime back in since you're back.
I think it really just comes down to a sense of, yes, you can have the discernment, yes, you can have the intuition, and you choose when to exercise it. But at the end of the day, you have to, how can I phrase this?
I got the answer for it. I'm gonna come on the back end of whatever you got to say.
Go ahead, chime in.
Y'all got to stop relying on love. And we
That's
and
what
we
I was
finna we're gonna land it because we gotta get out. I got somewhere to go to, but y'all got to stop relying on love. Marriage, relationships, and partnerships is not just about love. You can't just, oh, I love him, I love her, oh, she had my first 2 kids, she had my first 3. It's not about love. It's about the betterment of you. People need to start understanding selfishness is important. You can't be who you need to be if you focus on everything else, if you focus on everybody else. So you need somebody just as much invested in you that you are, and then you return the investment in them the same way.
But that's not selfishness. That's reciprocity.
No, but it's selfishness because I have to be the first one to say that just because I love you doesn't mean I belong here. Just because I love you and I care about you, just because we went through this and we went through that, no.
And sometimes us as women, and if I'm taking
No.
accountability, you have to stop being so loyal to time.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being so loyal to feelings, because where is it getting you?
None of that stuff
Is that really accountability?
Is what accountability?
Saying that I'm going to take accountability and say you got to stop being loyal to time. Is that really accountability, or is that just something that you fucked up on?
Because and this is, I mean, you, well, I'll let you answer. I won't.
No.
How would that not me being accountable?
I'm
and
asking.
you asked me the question, so can I answer it? Because this time I heard you clearly.
Mm-hmm.
In me taking the accountability, don't you think that requires a level of self-awareness to say, you know what? In this case, Janessa, you made the wrong decisions. Perhaps you were doing the best you could with the knowledge you had at that time. And now that you've gone through that experience, let's take the accountability. Let's take the intuition. Let's take the wherewithal, learn from this, and let's make a different decision. Let's not keep meeting the same person in different bodies. To me, that is taking accountability, because now you have the discernment and you're able to apply in real time your mistakes so you don't make them again.
However, with that, you can take accountability and
Still
really
fuck up.
start really digging into yourself. But then it's why you're single, because you by yourself.
Well,
you in yourself. You worry about everything else, and you not worry about a man.
So for instance, how you say Janessa in there?
Yes.
How she just addressed Batman as opposed to how you address him. She got the same point across with her femininity as you were trying to get off with your masculinity.
But I wasn't even talking to him. I was looking at her.
Okay, but what
that's the thing. It was a conversation with us. So we're all having a conversation, right?
Your power set is in being feminine, but you try to roar at a lion, and then when that lion roar back at you, you don't like it. But that's not where your power. Your power isn't in the fire; it's in the water. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to outman a man, and you're losing. Well, when you operate in the masculinity, you're trying to outman a man.
But that really goes back to what we were saying earlier. Even with the young man's name, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name.
Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Thank you. Mm-hmm. We don't see everything behind closed doors that they do. And these Ashika, actually, both women have said it. They are. You're being funny. She's ignorant when it comes to her man. Catering is her number one priority. So just because you don't see that, and she's in a setting where we're supposed to be expressing ourselves authentically, you can't take that clip, which we often do, and say, oh, this is who Ashika is. No. Because if I'm honest, I can say in dynamics, even my father raising me, yo, Janessa, you need to chill. This is not how we conduct ourselves. This is not how we communicate. So again, I'm no different than her. We're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
I might show it differently, or it might show up in different settings, but I'm not perfect.
But you back to what y'all just said.
It's the accountability.
A female just said the same thing. Joy, what's up, Joy? Mm-hmm. Joy said she's not getting it on the couch. It's her approach.
It's my approach too.
But I understand what she's saying. She said she understands. But that's the same thing Juan was just saying. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's say that again.
Shout out to my co-host.
So I have a
Oh,
question.
yeah.
I have a question. I just saw recently. I followed this podcaster, and one thing that she addressed, because she was speaking about how people of the church get offended when somebody try to check you, right?
Mhm.
And her analogy was, I've never seen somebody do CPR soft. I've never seen someone do the Heimlich soft. Just because the message is not delivered how you exactly want it, doesn't mean we don't have to address it. Because what happens is, I'll hear the message, right? The lion is roaring at me, and I gotta just take it because I need to be in my feminine and
No,
take it,
no.
right? I need to listen to it. But at the same time, we have to understand sometimes you gonna meet whatever you gonna meet.
But
It's
see,
if the person, I'm sorry, child, let me just finish
go
one second.
ahead, go ahead.
If the person themselves, especially if you're only getting a very small snapshot, you don't know the person well enough to know their behaviors, you're only going to take what you get in this particular moment, right? So, in the very same token, I guarantee you, had I said, well, if somebody's going to talk over me, and I'm not yelling, I'm not screaming, you can say I'm being very direct. I haven't cussed, I haven't disrespected anybody. I am very direct with my message because I am very well aware that's the only way that I am to be in this sort of setting, right? Until you have earned the privilege of getting a different version, it is what it is. You get whatever the surface level is. You getting the feminine, you getting whatever it is, depending on that person. That's something that that's an exchange that has to be developed.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. I have to operate like this in my work field. I have to operate. I service big brand stores and all kind of things, and I know that I have to conduct myself in a certain way. And in that, it doesn't mean that I'm not where I'm from. I know where I'm from. You see it on me. At the end of the day, I know how to speak to people in a certain way. And it's just the same thing that Juan pointed out. How I heard you, and I'm going to respond to you the way I need to respond. Just the way you speak, because at the end of the day, you're still speaking to a man. And I feel like in our race with our women, it's hard for them to get that and understand. You shouldn't. I would be remiss if my wife spoke or did certain things, and I say, because you go, yeah, you live and you learn, you grow, but you should not speak to a man, any man, not even a black man, or any man that can knock your face off. And not saying that you can't knock his back off, but what does that resolve? Nothing.
But
So,
but
and
my
you want
question
your
is,
point to be, heard, or do you want to be right?
it's not one thing. I don't never have to be right. But then my question is, at what point did we feel personally attacked by my tone?
No, I don't.
I'm just
I
saying in
think,
general,
yeah.
like
No, I think
at
it was
what
more
point
so of a
was my
example.
tone aggressive enough? Because if we're talking about this one small piece that Joy had discussed in that moment, I wasn't even speaking to him. So
I don't think it
is
was
it
like,
just in general, like just like I just give off
just
real,
like your statement
real
wasn't
nigger
direct. Yeah, you just come off strong, and Nick's come off strong a lot. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I know how she is, so I can take it and decipher that. You know, at the same time, it's in understanding, even like, whatever it is that you do on the job, like you won't talk to your manager like that. Why would you talk to your man like that? You know?
You ready to wrap?
Yeah. We finna wrap it up.
Can I ask this one last question in order for us to wrap?
Okay. Go ahead.
Given everybody that's in the room, obviously we're all ethnic and of the same culture. What is the one thing, very briefly, you all believe it will take for us to address and hear the opposite sex within our community? This war that we have between each other, it's the black man's fault, it's the black woman's fault. What is the one thing you think will be the catalyst for us to overcome it? Overcome the war, the miscommunication, the defense.
Keep on 30 seconds, because I gotta pee.
I don't even have that. the reception of uncomfortable conversations. It's not just the conversation. We need to be receptive to the conversation.
Okay. Jay, what you got? What do you think that we could 30 seconds, that keep it real quick, Batman. What you think that we could do that make it better?
Send the asteroid.
Asteroid.
I ain't ready to go yet.
Oh no. Juan, you got something?
Send it.
Money? No. I think that you have to have open minds, you have to have open hearts, and you gotta want better. It's up to you to want better. It's up to you to create the dynamic that you want. And you can sit there and say, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. It's all into what you want. So if you want tomatoes, you plant seeds for tomatoes. If you want mangoes, you plant seeds for mangoes. If you want aloe, you get what you want out of life and you plant those seeds. So I'm not surprised by anything that happens in my life because I've been planting the seeds. And that's just the way I feel. So to answer your question, if you want us to communicate effectively, plant those seeds for us to communicate effectively. Talk to people like you got common sense. Talk to people like you want to understand their point of view, and talk to them that you want understanding back. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. And no, it's not going to be perfect all the time. That's not the way life works. Sometimes mango season ain't good, but plant the seeds that you want. That's what I would say. And I appreciate everybody online, man. I appreciate everybody that chimed in, everybody that loved and liked, and actually commented on the post. Keep checking us out. We're gonna be back. We're gonna have some more heavy topics. I gotta get these two back because I think Jay done find this nigga got nemesis everywhere. I don't know how he pissed.
You know damn well you know for a fact I didn't turn up at all. I let it go.
He was being good tonight, but I don't know how this nigga just
because man, I'm trying to turn the leaf, bro. I'm trying to.
Hey, he's doing better. He is doing better because he shows out. So he is doing better.
Please don't think you won.
Hey, and when are you coming?
It has to be about winning.
Right, see, that's what I just said, right?
What is there to win? There's nothing to win.
All right.
Just
when you coming back with a new episode? Shout it out.
Oh yeah, we'll be back January 4th. OPOV. Shout out to Joy Moma doesn't come at one of my
Joy
1/3 of the OPOV podcast.
Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Daryl.
I sat next to her last time.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. And y'all make sure y'all check out my boy, and we appreciate y'all having us here. This is not your last time. I'm kidnapping you. I'm letting you know already. Kidnap. Hey, chopping it up with Chop. Chopping it up with Chop, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yo, let's go. It's time to chop it up with Chop, baby. Shout out to Rick Star on the track. I see you, young Prince. Let's go. Chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up. Chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up. Real issue, real problem, real shit that we dealing with. Fuck your whole life up, dealing with a city bitch like me, like that's the shit that we dealing with. Get up on the oil and we get into the thick of it. Niggas be tripping when their names ain't mentioned. The product ain't moving, so the niggas start glitching. Friends on the foes in a goddamn minute. Snakes are riding, then you hear the hissing. These niggas ain't telling, but these niggas ain't kissing. Point a head out and they ass get missing. When you see a real chief, better get into submission. Ain't shit made up and a nigga ain't blemished. Chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up. Chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up with Chop, chop it up.
Chop it up with Chop. Chop it up with Chop, chop it up.